All right. Hello, good evening. Welcome to another live episode of the O&G StrikeZone. Right here on
Brian Welch.
The Black College Sports Network, alongside my brothers, Kelvin, Roger, Marcus
A
Green.
heart
I'm,
in the
I'm
house
Brian.
of
I'm,
love.
I'm Brian
And I've
Fulford on
learned.
most days. On most days, I'm Brian Fulford. Most days. Some other days, I'm Brian with an I. I just be Dr. B. I'll be whatever you want me to be, as long as you get the show name right. So shout out to the good folks there at the 220 Quarterback Club. Shout out to Miss Walker. Shout out. Humbly salute you for recognizing the show, asking the questions, for watching. So shout out. It's all love. It's all good fun. One of these days I'm gonna make an appearance. But Gail was there. Gail was at the 220. I heard Gail got a shout out at the 220 today. So Kelvin, Marcus, what's good, brothers? What's good, man? What's the 411?
It is game week. It's time. There's a ram, not in the bush, but there's a ram that will be in the Bragg. And the Rattlers will be waiting for them. And let's go ahead and get this thing started. I'm excited. I'm excited for the tailgate with Rattlers in Arms and Fang Exchange. I'm ready to see all my Rattlers come in and converge. And I'm ready for that environment at 7 o'clock Saturday night, man. I'm stoked.
Marcus?
Same. I'll be watching from the friendly confines of up here in Delaware. But yeah, I'm excited to see how things turn out. Be interesting game to see, all the storylines that are converging for this particular game. And it looks like, just scouring social media, that Albany State got some transfers. Looks like a couple of former SWAC players. So they have SWAC hours they have SWAC hours. I don't know how much playing time they got, but they'll be bolstering their roster. So it'll be interesting to see how things turn out.
Okay. Well, we have a loaded show for you tonight. Again, we're on the eve of, can you guys believe this? We are already at the start. I mean, the season begins. Football begins this weekend. Volleyball begins this weekend. I'll be honest, I'm not mentally ready. I mean, it's been a crazy week. New job, new responsibilities, new school, other stuff going on circling around me. I mean, I'm not mentally ready. I hadn't got my fantasy leagues ready. The Pick 5 contest that we did has been axed thanks to the company that we did it. I'm just like, stuff that I would normally have ready, I don't have ready. And I'm just like, you know what? It's okay. Yeah. This year, I'm going to control what I can control. And if it ain't right, okay. I'm not going to fuss about it. I'm just going to move, keep taking steps forward, trying to live day by day, keep my head above the water as best as I can. That's it. So I'll pray.
In the words of the great philosopher, Joe Teller, control the dash.
Yeah, I'm trying to go 1-0, get 1% better. Give me some more cliches. I'm using them all.
One foot in front of the other.
1 foot. I'm gonna be where my feet are. I'm doing all of it right now. I'm all of it right now. To be honest with you, coming up on today's show, at the bottom of the hour, we're gonna talk to the Hall of Famer, Coach Bridgette Gordon, friend of the program, 2-time O&G award-winning Coach of the Year. We're gonna talk to Coach Pressure, and big camp coming up this weekend, man. I tell you, the men's basketball program saw what the women's basketball program did, and they're like, oh, we can't let y'all have all the news clippings, so we're just gonna go out and keep making noise and news as often as we can, because they're trying to catch up with the women's program. But we got 2 big camps happening this weekend for the women and the men. Coach Pressure is going to come on and talk to us about that at the bottom of the hour. Then at the top of hour 2, in the 9 o'clock Eastern time, GT3, Gerald Thomas III, who has been cranking out stories left and right. He's even doing stuff for your guys' favorite team.
He is.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah. Didn't we just beat the Coach Marcus?
You know, who has the worst quarterback? Who
With
has the worst quarterback situation?
knows.
Hold on, who has the worst quarterback situation? The Falcons or the Colts? Maybe that'll be the lead question for Gerald Thomas. Who has a worse quarterback situation?
It's a coin flip.
Exactly. I was going to say that. It's a coin flip.
But now that Penix is back, I give the edge to the Falcons.
What, that he has that y'all have the worst quarterback situations?
The better.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see. I don't know about that. We'll see. And then bottom of hour 2, Vaughn Wilson, the FAMU Hall of Famer, of course, HBCU Game Day. No, yeah, okay. I don't even know my shows. Yeah, HBCU Game Day contributor, as well
HBCUGO.
as new color commentator for HBCUGO. You know, Vaughn just keeps. I think there's some Jamaican in Vaughn. Isn't there? A little bit of Jamaican.
I was thinking the same.
Vaughn keep jobs, right? DJ Ace, Vaughn keep jobs. You know, there is not a job out, and he's doing other things too. But Vaughn keeps work. So I don't know how he sleeps, and you know, he keep the happy home and all that. Man, I don't know. I want some pro tips from Vaughn Wilson, but he's coming up at the bottom of hour 2. So we got a loaded show, man. I'm excited for this show. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The Avengers show was a great show last week. Shout out to the Avengers who assembled last week. I ran a rebroadcast today, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was not there for that show. I mentally was not there. I don't remember anything about, other than Tasha not being able and ready to answer questions every time I went to her. I don't remember jack about that show, and it's all a blur. Obviously you guys did a great job, and you got the interview with Tamia, so you know I was dealing with some stuff before the show. But yeah, that show was a blur to me. We did it. I did it. I was there. I saw myself on the screen, but it was a blur. And so I'm glad it went over well. Seems to be like a lot of people enjoyed it. Some of our best numbers. So thank you to everybody who watched it. Of course, thanks to the Avengers for coming together. I saw Fang Exchange back on the air, had their show yesterday. Of course, Troy and Fat Mouth Sports has been running shows. Jay Peeps. Everybody's shows are back. You know, everybody's back doing their thing. Keith got his show going. Keith is doing double duty because now he's hosting St. Clair's show. Keep St. Clair Moraine in your thoughts and prayers, hoping his recovery continues to improve. But Keith has been covering for him.
Good gracious.
So, man, I mean, capture stand.
Might be part Jamaican too, or Dominican or whatever.
I think at this point we all got to have a little of that Jamaican spirit in us, right? Where right now we just keep jobs. You know, I love my people. I love being around people who keep multiple jobs. You know, I don't know how to act if I be around you folks who just have one job. I'm like, what are you not doing in your life?
In this current client, you better, you know, we better keep multiple income sources coming, because we never know.
We never know. Exactly. Well said. Well said. We got let's see. Let's get into some shout outs here. And see what we can do with the shout outs here. Where we at? All right, all the way to the top, to the tippy. Kelvin, first one in the building. Surprise.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy Mack checking in. What up, Jimmy? Ready for game 1 of the season. Bull checking in. Ready for the road.
Come on through.
Drive safe coming in to Tally. Good stuff happening. Let's see. Ken checking in.
What's up, Ken Allen?
Ken, thank you for being a JBN subscriber as well on the YouTube page. Jimmy Mack. So Jimmy's coming up. Okay, good to see Jimmy. Dr. Wilson in the house. Checking in. Good to see you, Melissa Wilson checking in. Let's see. Rozier Ashton Harris checking in. He's ready. He's ready for the weekend.
Hello.
Makiba West. Makiba, good to see you. Thanks for being a JBN subscriber.
Makiba, y'all.
Meredith in the house.
What's up,
Thank
Meredith?
you for being a JBN subscriber as well. Marcus in the house. Look forward to seeing you as well, Marcus, to kick off the season. Thanks for being a JBN subscriber. Derek Singleton checking in.
What's going on, Sippy Rattler?
In the enemy territory, coming in. All right. Good to see you,
Later on
brother.
down in the chat, he's asking if we're streaming or not.
Who?
That's Derek Singleton. Later on down in the chat.
What does he mean if we're streaming?
I guess on one of the other channels, maybe.
No, I'm looking all the channels. I got check marks on everything. So anything that we normally have, the YouTube is popping. Both YouTubes, the O&G and the JBN, the Facebooks are popping. Black College Sports Network, O&G, Instagram Live, got Twitter going everywhere. I mean, I can't put us in any more places.
Yeah.
Shoot, being Matt, what up? I'm so glad I'm from FAMU. All right, sing it, brother. Tony checking in. Good to see you, brother. My dog, B Starks, checking in from the A.
What's up, B Stark?
Thank you for being a JBN subscriber as well. Joe Banks checking in from Bowie, Maryland. What? Traveling in from Bowie. Okay, I like that dedication for the kickoff. Man, I love it. What kind of ride is that, Joel? I'm sure you're flying, right? You're not driving, but I mean, if you were driving, what is that? A 12, 13-hour ride?
Yeah, it got to be around 13.
Wow. Yeah.
I imagine he's flying, though. I'm just a wild guess. Sweet. What up, Sweet? Checking in.
Hello,
JBN
Sweet.
Subscriber as well. Mary 305. Another
Hey,
JBN.
cousin.
How's the start of the year going for you, Mary? Hopefully them childrens ain't running you off, ain't fussed at nobody too hard yet. Writing detentions, referrals, whatever they call them. Watch JDTV checking in. Good to see
What
you.
up, though?
DQ Will in the house. Thank you for being a JBN subscriber as well. Gail checking in.
What's
Of course,
up?
Gail getting them shout outs at the 220.
It's for you.
Little baby. What up, little baby?
Hey, big little baby.
Demetra. All right, Demetra.
That's my dog.
Tamara T, thanks for being a JBN
What's
subscriber.
up, Tamara T?
All the work. Tamara T helping us getting closer to those interns. Shout out to the interns. A lot of people have been applying via the Career Center. Hopefully, we'll have we got some good young people that are interested in working with us. So final calls will be coming out here shortly. Gone through the list of applicants. Might be a few more upcoming here. So but I'll probably close it off here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who that is, EA, but anyway, EA, shout out EA.
Hello.
Good to see you, Hollow. There's another one of them dirty birds.
Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. Shout out Iria. What up, Iria? Thanks for
What's up,
checking
Iria?
in. Drew checking in. I don't know. Oh, he said between the Falcons and the Colts, he said Cleveland has the worst QB situation. Well,
yeah, I have to. Yeah. It ain't making sense.
I ain't gonna argue. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
It is what it is, right? Hollow said football is in the air. Definitely. Rick Kinsey checking in. Good to see
What's
you.
up, Rick?
Rattlers in arms. Big tailgate weekend. Is today the final day?
No, you can still. I brought my ticket today. Last night, actually, I think. But yeah. So let's go and support. We supporting FAMU Athletics when we support Fang Exchange and Rattlers in Arms. So come on, the menu looks amazing.
All right, good stuff. James Austin asking $1 million questions that we have I got lint in my pocket, James. I couldn't tell you. You, brother.
To be TBD.
TBD. That's about the best I can tell
determined.
you. JT, what up, family? Thanks for checking in. JT says, spot the damn ball. Okay.
And get the hell out the way.
All right. My dog, Clay, checking in. All right. Good to see. I know it's football season. Clay checking in. My dog, Norville, checking in. Let's see. Sam checking in. Good to see you, Sam.
Thanks for the intel, Sam.
On this referee. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Derek said he got it figured out. All right. He must be talking. Carrie Daniels. Good to see you, Carrie. Thanks for checking in. Yep, definitely will be at the tailgate. Looking forward to it. Terrence Davis, a member of the 78 national champ. What up, champ? Good to see you. Thank you for joining the show. Good to see you.
Robert Kelly.
Not
What's
that
up, R. Kelly?
But that.
The Marcher 100, R. Kelly.
Right. The Marcher 100, Robert Kelly. Not the one that's still in jail. That can sing his ass off. But anyway, running joke. If you know, you know. Karen Griffin, greeting from the West Coast. Good to see you, Karen. Exactly. Clay, thank you for being a new member. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. My dog, Johnny Thornton, checking in. Thank you for being
a JP.
What's called Texas Southern versus North Carolina Central?
That's gonna be kind of interesting. You know, I give Central the coaching edge right now, but
for sure.
They got a lot of newness, and Texas Southern got a lot returning, so that could be an interesting matchup.
I think that's going to be I got to look and see what the spread is on that. I'm curious to see. I mean, North Carolina Central should be favored. I'm just curious if it's more than a touchdown, though. I know those numbers are out there somewhere. So somebody posted in the chat and let me know what the number is, what the spread is looking like. That game is played. Where's that game being played at? North Carolina Central. Shout out to Edwin checking in. Good to see you, Edwin.
Question. I'm not sure.
I know one thing. I know Edwin, your Jags are like a 3-touchdown underdog against Alabama State. I know that much.
Ooh,
yeah. Like 3 touchdowns, like 19 points. And I don't see it getting any lighter either. So that'll be an interesting one. The game is being played in Houston, so that's a home game for Texas Southern. Okay.
Yeah.
Mike Reed checking in. Good to see Mike back from Vegas. Good to see you. All right.
What is W. Thorne Stadium? What stadium is that?
So if it's a Texas Southern game, I think all of the Texas Southern games are being played
at soccer stadium.
No. It's they are playing it in a high. So it's a high school. Well, what's the best way of saying it? It's a newly built stadium. I think that seats about 10,000, but its primary purpose is for Houston area public school high school football. But I had some pictures of it. It's a beautiful stadium, though. I mean, honestly, it looks better than a couple of schools in the SWAC, just to be, if we're being 100%. I mean, so
is this from? I saw an article. I read it briefly, where they had to reserve dates, and they failed to do so, and so now they had to find alternate dates for Texas Southern games. I think they play in a soccer stadium, but they had up until somewhere in the early spring to reserve dates for their home dates, and then after the deadline, I'm assuming the soccer team or any other events gets dibs on it.
Yeah, there was a Kyle Mosley, HBCU Legends, did a great background.
I did read that.
On that whole thing. Yeah, I mean, it's too long for what we got to talk about, but I'll say this though. I didn't go when FAMU played in the soccer stadium, and I don't know what it looks like in the soccer stadium.
I did.
Oh, but okay. So what did you think visually on the optics?
Well, they don't have good attendance. That's the problem. The stadium itself is nice, and it could really leverage that. I think since they got a deal where they were not paying for most of the operations, and I'm sure that their new AD will straighten everything out.
Oh yeah, I forgot they got a new AD. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I forgot. Yeah, AD of the year, multiple time AD of the year. Ashley Robinson is now at Texas Southern. So yeah, watch them grow. Okay, so that'll be interesting to watch. Still no word on his replacement at that school in Mississippi. So we'll TBD on that one, definitely. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm gonna stay out of their business because folks get some kind of way when you talk about day school, but folks always want to know what's going on with our school. But when we say
not just want to know, always got opinion, always got comments,
always got an opinion.
Everybody Valley fans, beat Valley. I'm just saying.
Got their Valley gear.
That same energy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Start pulling out the Valley gear from 1985 and stuff. Yeah, But when we say something, it's like, well, there y'all go.
Well, when you say something.
Yeah, man. Come on. Oh, me? Well,
yeah, they sensitive to you.
Mr. Welch.
I did go on another show. I popped in to see what my girl Timona was doing, and I didn't get raked over the coals too bad. I was friendly. I didn't, But what I did notice is after being in there, they were talking about their game. All of a sudden, they spent 10, 15 minutes talking about FAMU. And I was like, was that just because I was in the chat room? I didn't come in there to talk about FAMU, but all of a sudden, because I was in there, all of a sudden the conversation shifted to talking about FAMU. I don't have that kind of pull. I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you do.
I don't know. I didn't go in there trying to see Karen. I didn't go in there trying to be petty Karen. I was just trying to find out. There's a lot of big games going on this weekend. I wanted to know about that game going on in Nashville. Next minute, I know they spending 10, 15 minutes talking about FAMU and who we playing this week, next week, 5 weeks down the road. I'm like, damn, huh? I didn't say anything. I wanted to so bad. I said, don't do it, Bryan.
Don't get sucked in.
Exactly. Marcus will tell me. I heard Marcus on my shoulder. Don't do it, Bryan. Don't do it. I heard him. Man. So, good stuff. All right. Well, where do you want to go first, guys? We're already at the bottom of the hour. I will wait to see if we get Coach Pressure. I know, the new students and everything. Where do you guys want to go? What do you want to hit on first? Maybe a little minor anything before we get going. Let's see what you got on the agenda here, Kelvin. Oh, a lot of stuff going on.
It is. You want to talk about the men's basketball final recruit?
Final two. Well, I guess we are.
Final two.
Well, yeah, because I don't know. We probably talked about it a little bit last week, but I know we were football heavy. The guy, the 7-footer that came from the JUCO.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I'm
not going to try to pronounce his name. I know it's
Go ahead. Let me see what you come up with.
Let me see. Mihailo Stikovic.
Oh, you're talking about the hold on, I know who you're talking. What do we have on the graphic? Is the graphic just the new guy?
I got
that one on do we have that on the graphic?
Yes.
Benjamin Endor?
Yes.
But we don't have the other one though.
No.
So who is Marcus talking about?
He signed 2 weeks ago. It's on. I uploaded the slides if you want to look at that.
You have Benjamin on the slides?
On the recruiting slide, you talking about, right?
Yes.
He's talking about recruiting slides.
Lord have mercy. I'm trying to figure out where the slides are.
Google Drive.
What's it called again?
2026 commits Olympic sports.
All right, I found it.
And I'm sure I butchered his name, but
all right, let me see if I can pull this in there while we're waiting here. But go ahead and while I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, we got two. Well, I guess technically 2 international recruits, but one by way of. He started out at Southeast Oklahoma State University. I think they're D2. and then spent last year at Clarendon College in Texas, which is JUCO. But that's Mihailo Stikovic, and he's a 7-footer. I don't know how much he weighs because I couldn't find a weight for him, but he's a big dude. So between him and Benjamin Endure, we got some size and athleticism just kind of round out. So we're kind of like the UN with our basketball team this year.
I like the way you said that.
We are, because we got the recruit. Assuming everybody showed up. We had the earlier recruit from Joel Mokwiza, who played for Prolific Preparatory, but he's a native of Congo. This young man that we just signed earlier this week or late last week is from Senegal. And then we have Hassan Mbai. He's from Seton Hall. I'm not sure where he's originally from. So yeah, we have some and Jacob Lamaika from Suffield Academy. He's a freshman, but he's a native of the Czech Republic. So yeah, we're
here's the two most recent ones, Marcus, right here. This is what you're referring to, right?
Yep.
Stojovic. Is that what it is? Stojovic?
I'm not sure. I didn't look for a pronunciation, so I'm sure he'll correct us, or Coach Ward, and give us corrections. But yeah, he signed last week. But just looking at the overall basketball signees, there's a good mix of high school, JUCO, and transfers, and at least 3 or 4 of the transfers or 3 or 4 of the signees between high school and transfers have international beginnings.
And one thing I will say, having seen these guys and had a chance to stand next to them.
You've already stood next to him?
This has to be the tallest team probably in the country this year, and probably the tallest HBCU team ever. I mean, we got 7'3", 7'1", 7 foot, 6'9", 6'11", 6'10", and then your wings are like 6'5" to 6'7". Got Baker at 6'3" at one guard. This just a very long team, and the expectation is they're gonna be really skilled because, as Marcus pointed out, they're international players, and they've international players, they start playing their league pro at 15, 16.
Mm-hmm. And another high schooler, I just flipped back in the same slide deck. Alex Montez, he balled at St. Andrews down in Boca Raton, but he also played on the Puerto Rican men's national basketball under 17 team. So
that team won a gold medal down in that event. Actually, one of my former players, the young man who's now at the University of Florida, he was a part of that team with Montez. So yeah. Hold on, I downloaded the video. I downloaded the video clips from Benjamin Endure. Let me see if I can pull those into the feed. Who was that asking what? Hey, I'm telling you, the international flavor is where it's at. I mean, we see it happening everywhere. We just, FAMU just trying to follow along. Let's see if I can get some of these video clips of Endure into the system here.
Yeah, do we know?
Very long, but
and I'm not going to pronounce. Ndalama, was that a medical waiver he was trying to get, or was it along the lines of the 5th year and class of 22 thing, or what was it?
I don't know what kind it was. My understanding it got denied though.
Mm-hmm.
There's the big fella shooting showing a little outside range.
Mm-hmm. Now, from some of his stats from playing in the European League, he had modest, and I'll say modest, that's being kind, statistics in terms of scoring. But just the brief, what was it called? Field of 68 podcast and social media account. They seem to mention a lot of his skills in terms of defensive prowess, rebounding, and some of the things that may not necessarily always show up on the stats. So that energy, might be something that would be an additive aspect to the team.
Video again and again. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Marcus. I'm sitting there trying to figure out why I downloaded the same video like multiple times. I'm like, I get it. It's not the video I was hoping to show you guys.
That one is Luke.
Well, there's a video of him that I was trying to download on the pick and roll, which is pretty nice.
He had some videos on his Twitter account when he was being recruited.
Yeah. I wasn't very well prepared for this segment, but anyway. Damn, is my battery really running low like this? Lord, this is gonna be a tough show for me, fellas. Operating off of boot in a minute. All right, let's take a break. Come back. I'm not sure if we're gonna have Coach Pressure, so that'll give us an opportunity to get into a couple other things while we're going. So hang tight with us. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus, we'll be back after these words.
Do you own a business, have a service or product, apparel, entertainment, or food? Would you like to reach an educated client base that are loyal? Then the Urban Passport Business Directory is for you. The Urban Passport is your premier digital discount and media portal with the Urban Digital Television Networks and V108 The Vibe radio properties embedded. Stay connected with the community with the latest news, entertainment, and HBCU sports and culture with the Black College Sports Network. Visit myjbn.com/passport to register your business and sign up for your free app before the August 24th release date. We are the premier digital national urban business directory, always free to the consumer. The Urban Passport, the evolution of the Green Book and your digital passport to a world of savings.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game. It's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up. Start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay put until your next turn. The first to reach graduation wins. The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain. Available now. Let the journey begin.
Attention football fans. The Cricket MEAC Track Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota is back in Atlanta on August 29th. Representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard. Join us at Center Park Stadium for a full day of tailgating, football, and bands.
All right, welcome back to the O&G StrikeZone. Bryan, Kelvin, Marcus here. I think we've got Coach Pressure in the background. Let me make sure she is there. And just as a heads up, Kelvin and Marcus, I'm dealing with those power issues, so I'm trying to I'm trying to make some alterations. So if I go off screen while we got Coach Pressure, that's why. But just keep going. Let's see. Coach Pressure. Coach, are you there?
I'm here.
All right. We got some audio. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. And yourself?
Oh, man, we making it every day. You know, just what's all the cliches, Coach? I'm trying to go 1-0, trying to be 1% better than yesterday. I'm trying to be where my feet are. Well, you give me, what's your best one, Coach? What's your best one?
1% better every day.
There it is. That's me right there in summation right there. Okay. How are the young ladies getting acclimated to FAMU now that the first week is underway?
Well, I'm trying to open up my camera so y'all can see me here, but the ladies, the 6 weeks was definitely a blessing for my 6 young ladies that came in. With the other 8 young ladies that had already been back. So we off to a great start. Everybody was, I want to say, official from academic standpoint with classes, from physicals, from attending all the, what I want to say, formality meetings. We did all that. So we was ready to go on Monday. And we started off with a 6 a.m. 1.5 mile run. And if that's any indication on how the season should go, it's very, very promising because all my young ladies made times that I was making when I was at the University of Tennessee.
Right.
There you go. Coach, there she is. All right. Hall of Famer herself. All right. Coach, you really had them 6 a.m. on the first day of school running?
Oh, yeah. They said they want to win the SWAC. So there's no easy route.
Yeah.
To being a champion and that's what they take. You know, that's what it takes. Early bird gets the worm. And a lot of people like it's not how you start. And I tell them, yes, it is. It's how we start and how we finish this year, year 4. It is how we start and how we want to finish.
There you go. Go ahead, Kelvin.
Coach, can you talk about? I think you got a new addition. That kind of came in late. Kind of talk about it.
Yeah, you met her when we came out on Saturday to watch the end of Coach Quinn and the football team practice. I brought Dejana. She go by Cookie. She's a twin. She's coming from Chicago, the junior college up there in Chicago. Long, lanky, defensive minded like I like. Great character, great young lady, gonna fit in well, just gonna run the floor, do whatever I ask her to do. She's already, the way her mother came in and we all went to church on Sunday to bring in the season. We wanted her to be blessed by Pastor Dr. Holmes, Reverend Holmes, where I go and attend church there at Bethel. So we were there at church. And she was just a part of it. And then her mom came over to me and said, Coach, I want her to be baptized. Not today, but I want her to be baptized before she leaves here. And I said, we'll make sure we get that done. But more importantly, her mom spoke about how the young ladies greeted her. And that was something that hadn't been done before without them knowing who she is, right? That's the sisterhood. And that's the type of young ladies that's in the program. So I'm happy. But yes, Cookie. Everybody has a nickname. Her name is Cookie. She's about 6'2", long and lanky forward, coming from Chicago. So that's number 15. I'm at my NCAA roster limit, and I'm super, super happy and super, super excited.
Okay, something else we briefly kind of broached the subject, but I'm just wondering because I know Rattler Nation is wondering when can we anticipate the schedule and you know we ready to see when we line them up, Coach.
Well, I can give you a little sneak peek, okay,
Okay,
of it. It'll get official, but October the 27th, I'll be going back to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we will play a preseason game. That's going to be very special to me because 40
yeah,
years ago in Knoxville on that hill, we were embarking on our first national championship. So that's special for me to go back to the arena where it's all started from.
right.
Also in '07. I was introduced into the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. So that was how many years ago that was? That was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
And then it also the 30-year anniversary of the inaugural season of the WNBA. So we all in seven. So that's pretty special for me. Also to be entering in my fourth year in this 26-27 season. So I like the number seven. We're gonna be
yeah.
lucky seven.
There you go.
But then we got UCF on the schedule. November the 3rd. We have more home games in one season than I've had my whole entire 3 years that I've been coaching. So that's pretty exciting. I'm sorry to say. We
Yeah,
have the likes of going across the tracks on November the 8th to play Florida State. We got Albany State on November the 12th at home. November the 15th, we'll go down to West Florida and played the Division I team. They were Division II. This is their first year of D1, and they're in
right.
Atlantic Sun. And it's also Little Mama, right?
Hometown.
Hometown. So
Right.
there's no better place to be for her to be celebrating her senior year and getting to play back in Pensacola. So that was a blessing to be able to get them on the schedule. On the
Right.
15th, we'll take a 4-day, I should say, like a little break to prepare. We will play in the Disney Wide World of Sports, the WBCA first holiday tournament. We'll play the University of Alabama at 6:30 a.m. on ESPN at Disney Wide World of Sport. We will
Okay.
be the only HBCU mid-major anything in that nature other than being a P4 or P5 that'll be in that tournament. So that's special that they thought about me
Yeah.
and FAMU to invite us to a powerhouse tournament there at Disney. We'll stay over and catch the classic one more time.
Right.
Give my ladies a little culture. We'll go down to Kennesaw State and play them. Hopefully we'll come back and play West Georgia on the way coming back home. 2 days or the day after Christmas. Then I'm excited, super excited. As a fourth year head coach, I get to go back to home, which is delightful, the land, and play
Mm-hmm.
Stetson Hatters on
Okay.
December the 1st, December the 6th, right before we go in the finals. We'll play Florida Gulf Coast at home.
Mhm.
After the break, hopefully we can find a game on that 14th. We're still searching, but on the 17th, we play Thomas University. On December the 19th, we play South Carolina State.
Okay.
And then on December the 22nd, we go down the road 40, take that right to go 75, and maybe about 30, 40 miles, we'll go play them Gators down there, see what we can
Okay.
chop them up.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
man, that's an awesome out of conference schedule. Well balanced too.
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and then we'll have Fort Lauderdale University on December the 29th before them goddamn swipe people come to town. The swipe before the swipe conference started. And of course,
Right.
we started at those people down the road there. They'll be coming to us, opening
Yes.
up on January 3rd, Saturday, at
Do
2
we
p.m. 2 p.m. So all our Saturday games at home in the conference this year will be a 2 p.m. start, not a 4 p.m. start. So that's going to be a difference too this year.
Okay, will they still? Is it still Thursday, Saturday?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, still Thursday, Saturday. And I think for the first 2 or 3 weeks in January, that last week or that beginning of the first week in February, both games will be doubleheader on Thursdays and Saturdays. The men are moved from Saturday, Monday games, and then we'll move to Thursday, Saturday doubleheaders.
Okay. Gotcha. Marcus?
Tell them they can stop by. They talking about the camp, and that's what I'm really here. Because I'm telling
Yes.
you, I'm excited. I'm an avid football fan. So I'm so happy for Coach Quinn and his crew. I'm excited about Albany coming in here on Saturday. Then of course I have my elite camp on Sunday at the close of business day. We was up to the number 60 for our second annual Coach Pressure Elite Camp. I'm super, super excited. We have young ladies coming from the state of Alabama, of course, the state of Florida, the state of Georgia, and we also got one coming in from North Carolina. So we have 4 states that's being covered in my elite camp. We have one of our very own alum, Sleep. Y'all know him. He'll be present at the camp. So I'm super excited to bring in a lot of talent and just a lot of young ladies, not just to make money, because I see a lot of people on social media talking about elite camps how to make money. And I told them that's not true. If they look at my roster has a freshman on it every year. Now, KJ is the lone freshman from Hazel, right? Hazel High School,
That's
right
right.
outside right outside Huntsville. But I have freshmen on my schedule. I'm just not gonna sign early because I'm afraid that the NCAA might give those 2 junior college young ladies on my roster a whole nother year because they went JUCO and giving them another year to play 5. So I'm gonna
Right.
wait to see what happens and
Right.
sign my 3 young ladies, my 3 or 4 scholarships that I have late.
Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm super excited. So the camp is at 60 and it's the second annual Coach Pressure camp. So I'm super, super excited. I'm gonna be cheering. I might be hoarse on Sunday from yelling at the football game, but I'm super excited about camp.
Coach, going back to Miss Berrien, how did you happen to come across her? And actually, kind of on another note, I want to ask about Nia Rhodes and how she's progressing.
Well, we had Coach Hamilton came in and spoke to my staff and he said a lot of important things. When you can't put your eyes on every state, right? You have to have eyes in that state for you.
All right.
And what we can brag different about is that FAMU alumni base. It's special. So
Yeah.
we had a Florida alum, right? FAMU alum that was coaching at the university, the college that Cookie came from. We was needing one more spot after we were unfortunately unable to bring in Lily, who we was high on, the other freshman. So we waited late and made sure she was the right fit. So as a FAMU alum, when we reached out to him, Coach Dillard, that Oliver Harvey up in Chicago, and we watched film. We asked about her character. I spoke to her mom, and she was just a perfect fit. So once again, FAMU alum stood out, and then I can't forget about my Chicago crew. You know, they always said, "Come to Chicago, and you can find some talent." So this gonna be my third, really fourth Chicago young lady that I've had on my roster because I have 2 also, even though Leah Sims Swanigan is from Phoenix, she's born and raised in Chicago. And of course I have Perseus Williams that transferred in from Winthrop University. She's from Chicago. So I'm just super excited to add size,
Yeah.
athleticism, speed, rebounding, and I just want to be chaotic. We want to once again finally put pressure on the defense as well as on offense.
Okay, Coach. In terms of your camp, um, is the how are the men or are the men tied into it? Because I saw that the men have a camp right the same day and everything. So kind of talk about that.
Yes, the men will run their own camp. It's just in conjunction with us.
Okay.
Florida Lottery, Florida Lottery is going to come in and speak to our campers. So that's will be the connection. But of course, I'll run my camp. Coach Ward, which I call him Heisman, will run his camp,
Right.
and I will start. We'll be off. Do some other things. Talk about 5-on-5. Talk about 3-on-3. Just talk about the growth of women's basketball, the W, and the new 5-for-5 rule to help educate parents as well as the students. Then the men will go on, and then we'll alternate every hour while we're there. So of course, everything will be there in the same house under the same roof. And pull off, I think for the first time, you'll be able to see that you'll have men and women's elite camp under one roof going at the same time.
And for you, Coach, exactly why is it important to have this camp, and what do you hope to give and to get in hosting a camp like this?
I'm looking forward to introducing my young ladies really to the campers and see how well taught they are, and let them play a role. It's also going to be me being able to pay them some
Mm-hmm.
money to run camp while they're on school.
Right.
Excuse me, while they're in school. It also gives young people the ability to come to campus and be a voice for me, because I
Right.
don't go in everybody home. Everybody don't get to visit FAMU, but with those 4 different states being represented, they can go back and be a representation of
Yeah.
Florida A&M women's basketball and the university in their states, because they're going to talk about it. And there's no doubt in my mind why Kristen Johnson, the 6A player of the year and
Yeah.
state champion, has so many Alabama young ladies wanting to come to FAMU now. And we have a lot of them that's in camp.
Right.
So the word of mouth to me is more important than the broadcast, or
Gotcha.
as you said, the word of mouth, just somebody
Yeah.
being there on campus and passing it off by the word of mouth and their experience. Because these young ladies will get on social media, like I said, and be our voices for what they experience at the camp. And it's going to be hands on with myself and my young ladies.
Okay.
Hmm. Coach, to that point, for the camp or the camp participants, are they coming in early? Are they going to be there Saturday night for the game?
We tried to, but Saturday night was hard because
Mm.
it's Florida State first home
Yeah.
game too. So
Yeah.
you know what they do when that happens. It's like homecoming. The rates went up. I do have 4 young ladies that are coming in on Saturday, so it'll be an unofficial visit. We'll do a tour about 2 o'clock, and then let them go back to the hotel and rest and get ready for the 7 o'clock game. The beat down. It's gonna be a beat down.
And and just to follow up on that, I know you had a camp earlier in the summer. Are there any ones who participated in? I know you can't say names because they're recruitable athletes, but are there any ones who came in the summer that are also coming back for this camp, or are you having a different grouping of people coming?
That camp that I had was very intimate, and I'm glad that you asked that question. The game, the platform that the women's game is on is incredible. It's something that Pat Summitt advocated when I entered the University of Tennessee in 1985. Everything we did was for the growth and the development of the game. That's why I'm so sad that she's not here to see where this game has taken off. You talking about 30 years later, now we have a WNBA. So that's called, like, that's history now, right? 30 years in the business. So with that being said, the women's game, even on the high school and the AAU level, has grown. There's so many camp dates, play dates, summer season AAU. To the camp that I had this summer was very intimate. It was about 20 or 30 kids that just came to camp. And that was just to introduce them and bring them to campus also. But I knew the elite camp is where it's going to be at. And then a team camp for high schools for next summer, getting out early. So I want to really have 2 camps, high school, elite camp, and my little rattlers, and making sure that I always take care of them, because I'm an advocate, and I'm always going to be an advocate of growing the game. And it starts when they're young. I like to teach the game the right way because it was a part of my blood, sweat, and tears way the game has grown, and the leaps and bounds that we're at today. So I'm going to continue to be an advocate and advocate for the development and the growth of the game. So I'm always going to have my little Rattler basketball camp. But yes, going back to your questions, yes, quite a few of them young ladies will be here. Actually, this elite camp, my first elite camp from last summer, that's where KJ had got her offer from elite camp. And I offered her and she told me yes before she even left. So this is a great way to display, because I'm one of those people, you can show me film I don't even want to see. You get people that can get in there and be great at cone drills and layups and one-on-one highlights. I like to see from the naked eye and be in person. If I'm not evaluating them at an AAU game or a high school game, I like to see them in person. And that's why I invited them to come to camp, to college, because my ladies gonna get out there and play with them too, and not only demonstrate but play. So they're gonna play against, bigger, stronger, and understand what the next level look like. And my thing is that I want to see if they're gonna be timid, or they're gonna just be dogs and go out there and be willing to challenge them also.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Bryan, you there?
Yeah, I am here. Still dealing with a little bit of stuff, but you guys are great job. I did have a question, Coach. You mentioned the last time we had you on, we talked about the increase in non-conference games. Have you been able to maximize that? You mentioned those games. Have you been able to take advantage of that this year, or how does it non-conference totals look like compared to last year for you?
We have to. The NCAA increased the well, it depends on your conference. They just, for us, our non-conference increased 13 to 14, which is 3 games, because it was 11 last year, so now it's 14. So we increased that side. Some of the other schools that's already playing that, like the powerhouses that have more than the 12 that we have. And depending on their conference schedule, it depends on how many games that they increase. But we increased it ours by 3, and we did. We will have 4. 2 of them are NAIA and 2 of them are Division II. So out of that 14, we have those 4. Then everybody else is D1. And I mentioned the powerhouse, the UCF, the Alabamas, the Tallahassee, right? Gators. We still got those 4 that we playing. Once again, I'm bringing in the revenue that is a part of my contract that I have to bring in to the department. So I'm also raising that money through guaranteed games to make sure I play my part in my role as a revenue sport, bringing in money. So that's another reason we'll continue to play that. But, Kennesaw State, I'm a new coach there. If it was anybody that we want to play in the SEC, it would be Alabama, with a new first-time head coach and a new team on that 19th. But yes, we were able to take advantage of it. And like I said, 6 of those 14 games are at home, and you usually only see me two or 3 times in non-conference. So hopefully, I told my ladies this is an awesome schedule. 6 home games in non-conference to get the fans ready for the swipe, for you to be on display, for you to raise your awareness, for you to have the option to have more money, more people, more options for NIL revenue by being on display, by you already showing up and showing out. And Al Lawson, the Snake Pit. So I'm super excited. Like I said, I'm just super excited about the year and just being healthy. This will be the first year that I can go in healthy, and we're praying that we stay healthy going into this 4th season.
Amen.
I got one more question related to camp, Coach.
Okay.
Is it invitation only? Could somebody come late?
Yeah, they can come late. They can come sign up. We didn't take money in advance. We just took the sign up number so we can gauge the number of where we at. And once again, it's not about the money. We don't want to have too many people, because I'm a person, I want to touch everybody. I'm not, if I had a church, I want that congregation that was small enough but big enough that I can reach out and touch them every Sunday. So that's the same thing at this camp. Like I said, we had 60, we taking walk-ups. They definitely are welcome, and just to come show us, because like I said, it's not just about me. When you're coming to my camp, I'm connected in the basketball world in every way but loose. So they might not be good enough for me. They might be bigger than us. So I can make that connections to my friends and my colleagues to say, hey, you might need to check out this young lady. It also gives young ladies the opportunity that's not on that AAU circuit, because we have so many AAU with shoe. We got New Balance now. You got Puma, you got Adidas, you got Nike, that just cannot afford to go play on the AAU circuit. They can come to my camp and be seen.
All right.
Hold on a second. This is acting funky. I did have one more question. I'm gonna bring it back real quick to scheduling, if you don't mind, Coach. And this comes EA kind of in the chats asked this good questions. Now, obviously you're going into year 4, so you got SWAC hours under your belt, right? So we know you're a Hall of Famer and you represent. You one of the original WNBAs. So you're a legend there. And the question has to do with that opening game, right? We know how challenging it is playing that first game when, we got a rival. I mean, we'd love to have a great crowd. We love to have a community, but more importantly, we'd love to have the students. We would love to have the students. So the question kind of was, have you been able to have conversations with people in the SWAC, the scheduling people, about that, to kind of say, and that are they, maybe do they listen now that you got years under you and you're not just a Hall of Famer, but you got SWAC hours underneath you? I mean, what can we do about that? Have you spoken to anybody, or how are those conversations when you have talked to people about either moving that game or changing the way that opening weekend is done when students aren't back yet?
Of course, I've spoken. I've shown them, the atmosphere when State plays A&M in Alabama. I showed them others when Grambling and Alcorn hook up, right? When Grambling and Southern hook up. I showed them the atmosphere when Jackson and Alcorn hook up. So yes, I've been fighting for that since day one. Once I learned that every year you switch, you either start home. If you're home, then the next year you go away. Our Texas school, to answer your question is yes. So the input and the answers that they continue to tell me is that the AD and the president have to continue to fight. It's out of my hand and out of my hands and out of Charlie's hand. Because I'm making noise. I'm like, that's not fair. If we're talking about a student athlete, the experience, then every student athlete should experience what they saw in Bragg last year.
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter, not taking anything from Cookman. It's 900 seats. And there you got green, and you're going to have whatever color they are in their stands for a 900 seats. So it's always going to be crowded. But then you're talking about Al Lawson, you're talking totally different. But I did do some things different this year. When we put out the flyer for managers, oh my God, we're up to 80 people that have applied. We have 12 managers in our practice, and 12 of them are freshmen. And when I tell you, my ladies love them, they so bubbly. So with that being said, we already having them. We planning Storm the Dome. We're gonna use them the way that we know that we need them. Some of them are artists, architects. Some of them are designers. Some of them are, I was a former player. I get out there and pass the ball and rebound for you ladies. I want to do the laundry. So we're going to let them operate in their, their strengths. So I've already put together what we call our marketing team to go out. And I did that on my own. I hang out. If anybody ever want to see me, I hang out at the hub down there with my freshman babies. And they'll let you know. If I was to take my Cam with me, the way that they greet me, they know. They know I'm the women's basketball coach because I hang out there with them. And I'm asking them the opportunity. Not only there, I also ask them to be a practice player. So I have a lot of practice players too. But more important, we're talking about that crowd. I want that crowd for my young ladies, because we know we owe them anyway. We got even. We still went 2 for 3. But we want to start off with a bang and continue once we go on the road to Grambling and Southern. But, it's our rivals, and we already thinking about that. I told them about that already, January 3rd or Saturday, and I'm hoping that the students come back even though they don't start school till that Monday. I'm trying to do something, prizes, giveaways, something, food to entice them a little bit, right?
Yeah.
To come back.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing like I said, my young ladies playing in front of their peers. That's awesome.
Right,
That was an awesome feeling for me. Whether they booing or cheering, they there. They making noise.
Exactly. Feel free. Hey, I thought of this now. Let me see if you like this, Coach, before we close.
Okay.
We got to get students out to the pressure cooker. That's what we're gonna call. That's what we can call it. How you like that sound? How's that sound? The pressure cooker.
It sounds good after I watched practice today. I like that pressure cooker. I'm gonna just be quiet. I ain't gonna talk too much because y'all know I'm not. I'm very private. And then our slogan for this year is locked in. We locked in.
There it is. All right. So we got some work to do, Rattler Nation. We got to make sure we support, and we got to make sure when the tickets go on sale, we got to get our tickets, season tickets. If we have that option and availability, we got to get that done. You heard the non-conference. There will be 6 home games, 14 non-conference games, 6 of them. That's nearly half. For those of you who aren't doing math late at night, that's nearly half the schedule is at home in the pressure cooker. Coach Pressure and the Lady Rattlers. Oh, man, what a great season we're going to have this year, Coach.
We are speaking into existence.
Amen.
That's
Amen.
right.
All right, Coach, we'll have a great camp.
Thank you.
Again, the camp, the 30th. And then don't forget, Coach will be at the game. So if you see Coach at the game, shout out, tell Coach you'll be there, and she'll be looking for you. If you see Coach hanging around the tailgate, offer something. Coach ain't shy. So just say, hey, Coach, come on over to what we got over here. Coach will come and might have some players with her too. So be looking out for Coach wandering, looking around for the best tailgate spot. And I know you get a chance to meet the young ladies that are part of the team. So, Coach, we will see you this weekend. Me, Kelvin, Marcus we got to get him. We got to get him down. He's still up there in the Northeast. But you'll see me and Kelvin. We'll be there this weekend.
Okay. And then
All
I
right.
just want to say we always I call him Heisman. Heisman and I are trying to make sure on home games on Saturdays, even that Friday, that we practice around time that the game is not starting yet, so we can get fans to come in and get a little sneak peek on what's going on. Everybody is always welcome. My practice is always open. I'll give you that to you guys that you can always put it on the show and say, hey, come on to the pressure cooker. You're always welcome. My ladies will love it. I'm always have a roster to give out to people that's coming in, even a practice plan if you want to follow. That's what we're trying to do. We want to open it up and show what we got going on.
That would be awesome. Looking
Good
forward
stuff.
to that.
Good stuff. You're the best, Coach. We appreciate you. Love you. Thank you for your time.
Love you too. Okay.
All right. Take care, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Hey, when we come back right after these words, GT3, Gerald Thomas III, Tallahassee Democrats, FAMU beat writer, and also he writes about them dirty birds up there in Atlanta. So we're gonna answer the controversial question that's hanging out there. Worst quarterback situation right now, Colts or Falcons? We'll find out coming up. Or Browns, option C. We'll be back right after these words. The O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in a moment.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL on August 29th with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard, Bulldog.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game. It's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that can propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay put until your next turn. The first to reach graduation wins. The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain. Available now. Let the journey begin.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU stories with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
Tune in to the BCSN Pod Zone, the aggregate of some of the best HBCU sports shows on the net. Find them on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and everywhere you hear podcasts.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL on August 29th with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard, Bulldogs, Bison, the Marching Maroon and White, the Showtime Marching Band, the premier FCS matchup in prime time with a kickoff trophy up for grabs. Join us pre-game for band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Register your business for the premier urban business directory in the country, the Urban Passport. Visit myjbn.com/passport. The Urban Passport, the evolution of the Green Book.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Orange Blossom Classic. South Carolina State Bulldogs versus the FAMU Rattlers. September 6th, Labor Day weekend, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. You don't just want to watch it, you want to feel it. The sound of the bands, the energy in the stands, and the pride on every play. Get your tickets now at orangeblossomclassic.com. Built on history, fueled by pride.
That's the 1, 2, 3. Mute. You on mute. You're back on mute.
All right. Am I there?
Sound you good.
All right. I'm working off of an old Google Chrome. I don't even know what year this whole thing is. Yeah, but somehow it's working. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Let me see if I can bring Gerald in here. GT3. Gerald, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up? What's going on, y'all? You know, I just talked to Kelvin that on Saturday. Bryan haven't had a conversation with you, Marcus. I don't even think I haven't seen you in person yet. So, but you know, glad to be here on the show, man. Glad to be here on the show. It's almost football season. This is season 5 for me.
Hey, congratulations, man! Congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Before we get into talking about FAMU football, settle the debate. We know you're doing some work covering. You're writing, covering the Atlanta Falcons. You're on the Atlanta Falcons beat for the Democrat as well.
Yeah. Sports Illustrated.
Oh, excuse me, Sports Illustrated. Okay. Congrats on that. So we were talking about quarterback situations, and I framed it as who has a worse quarterback situation between my Colts, Marcus and Kelvin's Falcons. Somebody threw in the Browns. But if we keep it between Indy and Atlanta, who has the better or who has the worst quarterback situation between those two teams?
That's a good question. I don't know, man, because the Colts, I don't know if Daniel Jones, caught lightning in the bottle last year. No, I would have to see him do it again. Anthony Richardson hasn't been very good, and don't really know. I haven't really watched much of Riley Leonard. I remember when he was in college, but I don't know. It's kind of unknown, and I mean for the Falcons, I mean it's injury history. You know, Tua concussions all the time. Penix, this is like his third ACL injury. So I mean, everybody got their flaws. I don't even know if I don't know. I guess I'll take the Falcons. At least they got like a proven quarterback. I mean, Tua had some good years in Miami. He just last year couldn't start throwing the ball to the other team. So, and I mean, you know, the Falcons might have a young gun out there at quarterback, the underdog, Jack Strand. So, you know, I don't know. I if I had to pick, I would take the Falcons quarterback situation though. At least I know I got it. At least I know I got two of them.
You're taking the Falcons situation over the Colts. Even though, you know, when they played in the regular season last year, Daniel Jones and, you know, proved to be a better, and it was overseas, by the way. Kelvin and I watched it, but it was overseas. The Colts had a better game, won that game in OT. We're not counting preseason, so don't you bring it up, Marcus and Kelvin. Don't bring up.
We gave it away, by the way. We gave that game away.
I was about to say the Colts barely got out of that game. I watched that game too. And I mean, is that really saying much about beating the Falcons last year? Like, they won 7 games or something like that. Like, it's not really saying much. I mean, Daniel Jones had a good season last year though, but it just I got to see him do it again before I can be like, all right, he the real deal now. I got to see him running back at least.
Look, now all of a sudden the last year was last year. People started showing up. You guys are so funny. Last year was last year. B, let it stay in the past. Blah blah blah. Okay,
that's true.
I just say the same about Sam Darnold too, and then he won a Super Bowl. So I mean, you know, he on a different type of, you know, he on a different scope now. So then if Daniel Jones have another good year, then I'm like, all right, maybe this was the system he needed to be in instead of in New York. So. Yeah, I'll take the quarterback situation over them.
Okay. FAMU football begins its season against Albany State. We saw the depth chart. I thought it was. Look, you guys, we talked offline. I don't know what to make of what I saw. What can we make of what we saw with the depth chart, Gerald?
The depth chart is just a piece of paper. You know, I got hold on, I'm reading the comments on. Anyway, my bad. I was reading the comment, but anyway, it's just a piece of paper. I mean, you know, you see some things that's not on there. You see some things that's obvious on there. So, you know, I think the obvious things are on there, and the things that are not so obvious are missing also. So, but you know, I know a lot of people, you know, been paying attention to it. Got a lot of bookmarks on Twitter. You know, I've gotten some follows from coaches from other schools. So, but, you know, that's all I'm going to say. It's just a piece of paper at the end of the day. We'll find out what the real depth chart is when we get there on Saturday at 7 o'clock.
So, okay, let me ask this then. And Kelvin, Marcus, feel free to chime in here. Now, I don't know who else has put their depth chart out in that manner, but if we're putting a depth chart out and we're playing, we're doing a little gamesmanship, and we don't know if that is what we'll see on Saturday for sure. Why put it out in the first place?
It's
gamesmanship. Has anybody else put their depth chart out like that in the last 2-3 days?
So I don't know about the SWAC conference, but I know there are conferences where it's required. I know like the SEC and those major conferences, you have to have your schedule released by the first beginning of game week, Monday of game week. So
because they have television partners, and the television or radio people would like to know who they're going to be talking about.
Yeah, and also they want to know injury updates and that kind of stuff also. So so I hadn't even looked at anybody else roster, to be honest, to see if it's out there. But what I say is this: there's coaches who believe that you show what you want to show, and then when game time comes, you adjust to what is shown. And you got to remember, we got the OVC coming up next week too. So you want to leave as little time as possible to prepare for certain things.
Yeah. And that just made me think of something. And I've talked to y'all. I say even when like Coach Simmons will put out his depth chart, it wasn't all the way. It wasn't all the way there. Yeah, the obvious players are going to be there, but some guys that may surprise you may not be on there, and they actually might be the one getting the start. But also, I just thought about in 2024 when South Carolina State came to FAMU. Do y'all not remember South Carolina State didn't upload a roster till like the day before the game, the day of the game, or something like that? So, it's college sports. I mean, I feel like I'm thinking the NFL, you might have to put out a legitimate depth chart. I feel like in college there's no rules. If you get out a depth chart, your depth chart can say you got me playing quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, so that's what I think it is. I mean, it's close enough to be able to make your pregame assessment. And I mean, if you're around a team enough, you know who's going to be those guys that's going to come out and actually going to play, even if they're not listed on the depth chart.
All right, go ahead, guys. Let's go.
Gerald, I had a question for you, and I don't know if you're at liberty to answer it based on whatever you're being held to. But I think on the 220 Club last week, Coach Gray said there were 2 players that weren't with the team anymore because I guess they weren't adhering to the standards. Do you have any idea who those 2 players are? I'm not asking you to name names, but do you know who the 2 players are?
I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not even playing. I have no clue who those players were.
Okay, this is interesting to see. And also, we updated the who showed up and who didn't, or at least based on the roster.
Yeah. And
so we have that slide deck coming up. But there are a couple of names that popped up that are like, oh wow. I was wondering, and I was just kind of gauge who got listed finally. I know they're still going through the compliance and everything else. So it's always like a mix of things in terms of who actually showed up, who's on the roster, who said they committed and didn't show up. So we're just still trying to sort all that out.
It's crazy. We might not even know what the real roster is till week 2 or something like that. And just dealing with college, I know in past years, I had players pop up and be like, I didn't even know he even was on the team, and he lead the team in tackles or something like that. So, it's no telling nowadays just with how crazy college sports is. But I have no clue who got dismissed from the team or not.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
So Gerald, what can Rattler Nation expect to see on Saturday, man, based on what you've seen in the scrimmages and camp so far?
I think you'll see a team that's playing inspired football. I mean, you kind of see a overhauled team in a sense. I mean, that's kind of given when it comes to having a new head coach, but you also see some familiar faces out there that been on the team the last couple of years. I think of a guy like Antonio Kamen. He's been on the team he's going on his 3rd year with the team. Was going to transfer after the whole coaching situation and all that, but end up staying. But I think you'll see some inspired football. I think Coach Gray, he was telling us, some things are going to be different from when he was at Albany State. So, I don't think he's going to be copying and pasting, exactly everything that made him successful. I mean, you see, he went and got a different defensive coordinator. Of course, Coach Cash is coaching the safeties and the nickelbacks, and he was the guy who was the coordinator at Albany State that had them as the #1 defense in Division II. But now you got Ryan Lewis, who we all remember how those Alabama State teams were on that 2022 to 2024 range. Our games is always ugly against FAMU because of those defenses going at it with each other. Offensive-wise, you already know, bringing back, kind of fast-paced offense. Coach Gray said he don't want to call it the Gulf Coast offense, but it shares some similarities to the Gulf Coast offense. And, another thing is it was like, at Albany State, it was like no drop-off. On offense, they were one of the highest-scoring offenses in Division II. And then on defense, they were #1 total defense in Division II. So a lot of wide receivers, you'll see guys will have some speed. Talk to Mike Peterson. I asked him if the Florida speed was bad. He said they got something a little better in Florida speed. They got Florida hands. So just looking forward to just seeing what they bring on the field. Jamal Haley, speedy running back, caught a lot of people's attention. Interesting to see what Chase Gillespie do from Vanderbilt, a Tallahassee kid also. So excited to see what the team's going to look like on Saturday, just in that first real look against a different team.
Now, is there anything that coming out of camp, either in terms of roster depth or individual player performance, that surprised you that the Rattler Nation should be anticipating?
Surprise. I mean, I feel like a lot of people came out talking about Peterson. He was a guy that, he got a lot of buzz, coming from the Florida Gators, and I didn't even realize that he was the nephew of Adrian Peterson that played at Georgia Southern. And, I'm from Savannah, so we know a lot about Adrian Peterson. I remember in high school, Adrian Peterson came and spoke to us at school when I was in high school. But Georgia Southern legend. I wish I would have asked him. If I would have known, I would have asked him, during the time. But I just didn't put two and two together. So that'll be a guy. A lot of people talk about Caden Brown. They went up and got him from Syracuse, a New York kid, and we all remember what happened last time. You had a defensive end from the state of New York. He's in the NFL now, making some big dollars. Those are kind of guys that I'm keeping my eye on. Are kind of interested to see how the secondary is going to perform. I know that was one of the positions they were kind of really assessing when I talked to them early in camp. So I think it's going to be a lot of bodies back there, playing at cornerback and nickelback and safety positions. So those kind of was the major takeaways. The mock game, me and Kelvin got to see the mock game, and you saw that competition. You saw a guy that would break away for the touchdown, Kyron Jackson. He broke away with that blown coverage. I don't even know if it was blown coverage. I think he just outran.
Yeah,
he just outran the dude. So that's just another surprising guy. But then they'll do that, and then the defense will turn around and get an interception. Then the offense will come down. Armand Burris had that catch in that tight window in double coverage. Got him between the tight window. I forget what quarterback. I can't remember. That was Knowles or Fletcher that threw it to him. But they got it to him in that tight window. So the mock game, that was something that I was kind of happy to see, because you always just hear about scrimmages, but they tried to kind of run it as if it was a real game starting at 7:00 at night and all those type of things. So that just was something that was pretty new to me.
Okay. Dustin Fletcher listed as QB2. Is that the young man, the grad transfer from the Citadel? Yeah. What did he? Obviously we know, Isaiah Knowles is his job. I got to imagine if this game gets to be a runaway in the first half, we might see him. How did he look in the scrimmage?
Yeah, he threw a few touchdowns. I kind of want to say he's the one that put that ball in that tight window of the Birds, but I can't say for sure, so I don't want to falsely take the credit from somebody else and give it to him. But yeah, he's a veteran. I'm not sure how many years of eligibility he have. He could have, another year after this. He could be if they want to go the veteran route, he could be the guy waiting for next year. But yeah, he was a late addition. I don't really think I really knew about him, until close to training camp. I think he committed late in the summer, midway through the summer or something like that. But, another veteran presence back there. You got Isaiah Knowles. I think Isaiah Knowles is really really the only elder statesman back there. So you got another guy that can, hold that clipboard and just be ready when his number's called. So, if it does get bad, you for sure see Dustin Fletcher and maybe even some of the younger guys too that might be, the quarterback a year or 2 years down the line from now.
What is the situation with Nayron Jenkins? Last week, we had the Avengers on and we were celebrating. Folks were celebrating in the streets. 5 years, he's back. They running videos, and then all of a sudden, the NCAA comes back and they smacked everybody down. So, have you talked to him? What are his thoughts, or what is anybody saying regarding his situation?
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to him a little bit. Right now, just playing the waiting game. Trying to see what's gonna happen. I feel like part of the reason that I miss everybody because you got these guys that I made NFL training camp rosters and they trying to come back and play in college. So now they like, whoa, they might be on the brink of not letting none of the 2022 guys come back. I'm not sure, but that might have a little bit something to do with it. I forgot the guy that was about to go play at LSU, but I think the NCAA trying to kind of hammer down because you got people going through NFL training camps and then coming back and trying to play against, the college kids. But the 5x5 rule, I think it kind of will get some order a little bit, especially with that running clock. And I mean, I'm 28 years old, and you got, some people that's my age that's, still playing in college. Not saying necessarily at FAMU, but I'm just saying just in general. I'm like, I ain't been in college almost 10 years, so but I think I'm interested to see how it's going to play out. But I think having a running clock when you step on campus and getting those 5 years and kind of getting rid of like the red shirts and all that, I think that'll, kind of let guys take their college career a little bit more seriously during that allocated window they have.
And to that point, let me ask this, just get your general opinion. Do you think we would have, if it weren't for NIL, would we have some of these players wanting to come back for that 5th year for the class of 22? If
it wasn't for NIL, like at FAMU?
No, I'm talking about in general, in the NCAA landscape.
Oh, yeah. If NIL wasn't a thing, then for sure, those guys, they just might wait out and, try to catch on with another team in the NFL or go to the CFL or go to the UFL. It's a lot of different, places that you can play football now. You got the indoor football league. So it's a lot of places you can play pro at. But, I think NIL does have a little bit to do with it. And I mean, I don't mind NIL. I do feel like student athletes should be compensated for what they do. But also I do know that market that they have is kind of not the real market. It kind of has turned to a bidding war. So I don't know if you set a salary cap or anything like that. But I think that, could help. I had some time to talk to Coach Charlie Ward about it, and I remember he was, saying that too. So, but yeah, if NIL wasn't a thing, those guys probably wouldn't be coming back unless they coming back and trying to re-enter the NFL, like coming back like this is another shot that I can put good film out and a team may pick me up next year or something like that. But, it's the wild, wild west in the NCAA, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Gerald, you got any? What you got coming out before the game Saturday, man? I know you always keep a couple of pieces in the chamber. So what you got coming up?
Yeah. Make sure y'all look bright and early tomorrow. I got it scheduled up on the website right now. Got a big time preseason feature every year. Every year I do one. So I guess this is my 5th one that I've done for the FAMU football season. So big time preseason feature coming out. It'll be on social media and all that. I don't really want to jump too much on what it's going to be on. I just want people to go in and read it. I'm not going to lie to y'all, it is going to be on a paywall. I mean, it took me all month to put this story together. So I would say, pay your $1 or $2, however much the membership costs. I don't got to pay nothing because, I mean, they pay me, but pay $1, $2 and take and give a read to it, man, because it's a good read, and there's gonna be a lot of people in that story that that you might want to hear from, people you may not heard from in a very long time. But I definitely want people to check that out. But yeah, it drops tomorrow, 2 days before game day, to let it circulate, and it's gonna be a good one. I'll tell you that. I worked a lot on it, did the final edits today, and all of that too. So yeah. So be on the lookout. Be up at 5. If you up at 5 o'clock in the morning, check my Tallahassee Democrat page, and it'll be up. If it ain't up at 5, it'll be up like 5:09, 5:10. It gotta take some time to, I gotta take some time to load up on the website and all that. So yeah. So first thing in the morning, check my Tallahassee Democrat page, and it'll be there.
And it's behind the paywall, right?
And it's behind the paywall. Yeah, I was just telling them that it's behind the paywall. Took a lot of work to do it. It's an exclusive story. It's a story ain't nobody else got. So I mean,
look at that. Okay,
you drop your little. You don't even got to renew it for the next month. Just drop a little $2. In there. You know what I'm saying? And you got this story, and I believe it's going to be, it's going to run in the centerpiece of the Tallahassee Democrat. I think they told me possibly Sunday. So if you if you're out at your local gas station or grocery store and you see a Democrat paper for Sunday, you might want to grab that, because I think that's the day that it's supposed to run in the centerpiece.
Man, look at Gerald. Okay. Okay. Well, is this your first Sunday centerpiece?
Oh no, man! I done had a bunch of them, man. I had
Oh,
one
excuse me. I'm sorry. My bad.
I had
My
one when
bad.
they won the Celebration Bowl just a few years ago.
Yeah,
My
put
bad.
some respect on his name, man. That's a multi-award winning journalist. Man.
My bad. I apologize, Gerald.
It's not Gerald Welch.
No. Wow.
You see, I got my 2 earrings in, though. I got my 2 earrings.
All right, Gerald. It's time for you to go. It's time for you to go.
Yeah.
So let me pose this to you and Kelvin. How did the
messy.
defensive line look? Because I know that was one of the things we talked about last week on the Avengers, that, it didn't really get much push last year and seemed to be a little overrun. So how do they look? And I know we have at least 2 new names that came up on the latest roster release, or at least the booster roster reveal, meet the players. I was scanning for new names that I had heard before, and I know I saw a couple line there for transfers for defensive line that I'm assuming came late over the summer. But how did they look?
Yeah, you said they didn't get much push last year. They didn't get no push last year. But anyway, the pass is the pass. But I mean, the defensive line, when I talked to Ron Lewis, he said, he's the linebackers coach, but he an upfront guy. So that's going to be they talk about bringing this dark cloud defense back and all that, and he put it out on Front Street saying, hey, if we don't have this front line together, we're not going to be able to be the dark cloud defense, because it starts with them. So I mean, you got a lot of guys that's going to be key contributors. Regardless if they on the depth chart or not on the depth chart. I'm telling y'all right now, the depth chart is just a piece of paper. Of course, we all know Antonio came in. We're not talking about Caden Brown, who's not on the depth chart. Isaiah Morrison from Albany State, he's not on the depth chart. So I'm telling y'all, it's just a piece of paper that they putting out. But regardless, they got the guys. DJ Jones, he's a returner from last year, number 95. So I mean, they got the guys that they can make. I feel like they got a lot of different players that can play at certain positions. Like I think Isaiah Morrison can play D tackle and defensive end. So I think they bring a little bit of versatility. So going to be interested to see how they line up against Albany State. Not really sure what kind of offensive scheme Albany State going to bring. I know they got a new quarterback from Alabama A&M, Jeffrey J.D. Davis II. So I don't know if they're going to go out there and let them throw the ball like how Quinn let Isaiah Noah throw the ball all over FAMU last year, or what. So I mean, they probably gonna get that running game tested though. They're probably gonna get that run game tested on early against Albany State, especially coming in with a new quarterback.
And I'll just say that Coach Lewis also mentioned that he's trying to make teams one-dimensional and take away the run. And what I would say is that defensive front is experienced. Yeah. We have returning guys and we added guys, and the guys we added are experienced. So how they perform probably will be the key to how dominant the defense then is, because what I would tell you is on the back end, there are some athletic guys who can make some plays. And even in the linebacker room, the athleticism is up. So if we can get pushed up front and make teams one-dimensional to take away the run, we're going to get turnovers. And in the scrimmages I saw, the line held their own. They made some plays. We had some sacks. We had some turnovers.
Yeah.
It was competitive, which is what you want to see. So I just hope that translates Saturday. I expect it to translate. And honestly, we ain't did our predictions yet, but I think I might have a bold prediction on the defensive side.
Oh boy, here we go.
And I want to just do a callback to the spring game. If you was at the spring game, remember the offense jumped out on the defense, but remember the defense almost made a comeback late. The final score for the spring game was 25-24, and they did good on good ones versus ones, and the defense had a different scoring system. And they was able to get that close up against the offense. Just ran. If it was about 2-3 minutes left in that game, defense might have came back and won. So I think that kind of gave you a glimpse on it's going to be an improved product on that defensive end too.
I'm not going to ask you bold predictions because I know you newspaper guys don't like to make bold predictions of the team you cover. but
No,
he already did it.
Oh, okay. I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What's the prediction? What's the prediction, Gerald?
For Saturday.
For Saturday. Well, both.
All right. For the year, I did floor and ceiling. For the year, I got ceiling 9-3, and I got floor 7-5.
Okay.
Bowl prediction for Saturday. Bowl prediction for Saturday. I'll say I don't know that one gonna come.
Come on, it's bold. It's supposed to be bold. Come on, be bold.
All right. Okay, if it's bold prediction, I say it'd be a receiver that got 120 yards.
Oh, 120 seems lightweight. Come on, that seems light. 120. I thought you were gonna say 150 or something.
I'll go $150.
There you go.
Cause I think Woodcher had 120 last year, so it's not that bold. So I'll say $150.
All right, so there you go. Put it in the. Is Gail our official record keeper, or what's to call it? Keeping the book of record this year? I think she did last year. So if so, let's get Gerald down for bold prediction. A receiver with over 150 yards on the season. The floor 7-5, the ceiling 9-3. That's kind of consistent with what we all did. I think I did 10 as the ceiling and 8 as the floor. Yeah, I think Kelvin was in the same ballpark as you. Marcus, I don't remember. Where were you at in your season prediction? Where did you go?
Same range. I think 93,
okay,
7-5.
All right. Good stuff. Okay. Well, let's make sure we all lock in. Gerald Thomas, GT3. 3PG is where you can find him on X, on Twitter. And we will see. We'll look forward to this article, which is going to drop before the sun comes up. Yep. And I'm going to get my $1 for 1 year subscription for the Democrat. I might actually pay for it this time. And we'll see what happens. And look for Gerald's coverage of the Dirty Birds. We're not even going to ask you about season predictions just yet. I'm gonna let you stew on it for another week. I guarantee that. I guarantee the Colts have more wins this season than the Falcons, and I'll bet each and every one of you. I ain't betting eyebrows, but I bet each and every one of you three that the Colts have more wins this season than the Falcons. So that's my final take, and that's it. All right, Gerald. Thanks for your time tonight. We'll see you on Saturday, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all having. I'll see y'all out there on Saturday, man.
Yes, sir. Right, yes, sir. All right. Hang tight with us. We'll take a break, come back with the FAMU Hall of Famer, contributor of HBCUGameDay.com, and a man who works many jobs, also now HBCUGO's color commentator this season, making his debut at home in his backyard. So that's Vaughn Wilson coming up on the other side. We'll be back right after these words. You're watching the O&G StrikeZone right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Do you own a business, have a service or product, apparel, entertainment, or food? Would you like to reach an educated client base that are loyal? Then the Urban Passport Business Directory is for you. The Urban Passport is your premier digital discount and media portal with the Urban Digital Television Networks and V108.5 radio properties embedded. Stay connected with the community with the latest news, entertainment, and HBCU sports and culture with the Black College Sports Network. Visit myjbn.com/passport to register your business and sign up for your free app before the August 24th release date. We are the premier digital national urban business directory, always free to the consumer. The Urban Passport, the evolution of the Green Book, and your digital passport to a world of savings. Tune in to the BCSN Pod Zone, the aggregate of some of the best HBCU sports shows on the net. Find them on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and everywhere you hear podcasts.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL on August 29th with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard, Bulldogs, Bison, the Marching Maroon and White, the Showtime Marching Band, the premier FCS matchup in primetime with a kickoff trophy up for grabs. Join us pre-game for band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
All right, Bryan, you on mute if you trying to talk. Vaughn, he having a technical difficulty. I don't know what the deal is.
I got. Hold on, I'm hearing echoes. Let's see. Are you guys hearing me on the echo? How are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm hearing the echo.
All right, damn it. All right. Well, hold on. I'm gonna come back in a second. Go ahead, Kelvin. Go ahead and introduce Vaughn.
Okay. All right. This is O&G StrikeZone. We back with Hall of Famer Vaughn Wilson. How you doing, Vaughn?
Hey, feeling great, man. It's football season. I mean, how else can you feel but great?
All right, Vaughn. I saw the news where you're gonna be doing some color commentating, including this weekend. Tell me how that came about, man. How you feel about that?
I got a call from the SWAC office this summer. No, in the spring, actually. They called and asked. They said, hey, your name is come up sometime. We were wondering if you would be interested in color commentary. And I said, I think so. You know me, I've been on the sidelines all my sporting life, so it's kind of difficult to get in a box and can't move. You know, can't be down close to the action. So, but they said they wanted me to call the 3 FAMU games with Gerald. And I said, of course, let's do it.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you also. Who's going to be in the box with you? I know Simone is going to be on the sideline, but so you just gave us.
My little sister Simone is on the sideline. You know, I tell the HBCU game day crew all the time. I say, we spread out so far. We don't do as many shows, but literally, Tolly's on ESPN, HBCUGO, and SWAC TV. I've done all 3. Simone does all 3, and of course, Wilton does for writing for ESPN. So we're actually kind of spread out further into the HBCU culture on what we built with HBCU Game Day. And that's where a lot of the people saw us and figured we'd be good to inject actually into the live productions.
Hello, Vaughn. Hopefully there's no echo. I don't know.
I don't hear any.
Okay. We were joking earlier. There's a little bit of an echo. I don't know, Kelvin. I don't know where it's coming from. Hey, look, I was telling. We were joking a little bit between between all the stuff that you do, all the work that you do with the FAMU Sports Hall of Fame. Which, by the way, if you are not following Vaughn on Facebook, you are missing probably the greatest treasure trove of FAMU athletics history that anybody, I'm talking with a capital A, all caps, all 7 of those letters, that has ever been done in my lifetime. Now, all shout out to the great Alvin Hollins, right? But I haven't seen in this digital format what you have been dropping these jewels about the FAMU Sports Hall of Famers, the 50th anniversary, which is coming up in about a month now, right?
Yeah, September 18th. Yeah, about 3 weeks from now.
Man, that is, I mean, my goodness, that is some. So again, I would strongly recommend that you guys go follow Vaughn on Facebook. I'm assuming his Facebook is open for all of you. So anybody who wants to go follow, and I mean, every day, it's like every day you've been dropping something, or just about every day, right?
From 77 days out, we started. Marvin Green challenged me. He said, we need to do some kind of countdown. And when he saw the first one, he said, that wasn't what I was expecting, but let's go with it.
and so, like, all of that stuff, I'm sorry, Vaughn. I was like, all of that stuff, like, you've even retouched up photos. Like, I saw the photo. Who was it you touched up a photo of a baseball player, right? From, like, the 70s.
Bill Lucas. Some of those pictures were from the 40s and 50s, and they were just in awful condition. And through a series of enhancement programs in Photoshop and with AI assistance, we've really brought those photos to life. And let me tell you, the greatest compliment comes from the families of these people. Yeah. When they send them direct message like, hey, man, thank you for remembering my uncle or my grandfather or, my auntie. It means a lot to people. And that's kind of what keeps you going 70-something days in a row, coming up with a unique graphic, making sure your recollection of what they actually did was, you verified and enhanced what you did. So, yeah, it has been gratifying.
And I hope we can find a place to load all of that stuff that you have done onto some kind of website. Hint, hint, Marvin Green, FAMU Athletics FAMU Athletics Hall of Famer website. I don't know. We need to just go ahead and create an Athletics Hall of Fame website. Nothing wrong with storing it under the athletics page, but it needs its own web page, in my opinion.
And that's actually in the works. Because what we want to do now, after this 50th anniversary Hall of Fame, capture as many stories as we can for the living Hall of Famers that are here. So that when they live on in their own words, they can describe their experience at FAMU and whatever made them successful. I mean, I know we're a football school, and previously and getting back to be a basketball school. But one of the things I'm proudest of the Hall of Fame is that we're going to have Marquise Grissom, Vince Coleman, and Andre Dawson back, and possibly even Hal McRae. You're talking about the highest level of pro. All of them are multiple All-Stars. I think 3 of them were Rookies of the Year. I think Marquise probably has the most Golden Gloves. Vince Coleman led the National League 6 years in stolen bases. And, of course, Andre Big Dog is in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. That group is literally gold. That's FAMU baseball gold to have all of those there. And they're excited about coming. So, like I said, I know you think of FAMU, probably the first thing you think of is football. But to have those guys who excelled in baseball at the level they did, it's going to be amazing.
Can somebody look? I'm just an ideas guy, so I don't know anything about anything. Can I get somebody to host an autograph session with those 3 Hall of Famers and like NIL money going to FAMU baseball. I'm just throwing ideas. It's just ideas, Vaughn. I'm just saying.
Well, we're doing something like that. We got a sponsor that is buying us 100 bats.
Ooh.
And all of them, including Hal McRae, has some health issues. He may or may not be at the Hall of Fame. But if he's not going to be there, I will take the bats to him to get him to sign them, all 100. And then our 3 that are there will sign them. And those bats will be sold for like $100, $150 to raise money, each to raise money for baseball.
Wow. Hey, great. I don't have any hours. I just started a new job. I got to find a way to be there that Friday. I can't drive fast enough from Orlando to Tallahassee. And let me see this. What time is the ceremony again?
It's at 7 o'clock.
Damn.
7 o'clock.
Get out of school at 4. Woo, that's cutting it close. I like if I leave right at 4 and don't take any bathroom stops, I might make it. And that's assuming I don't get a ticket. I got to find a way to be there for that. I'm telling you, if you guys,
I'm looking forward to it, man. People from all the different eras, like you remember Mickey Clayton's girls basketball team back in the day.
Yes.
I mean, people just don't realize how much beasts they are. Yeah. They were. Sybil Rivers, she's coming back. I mean, this young lady was just absolutely amazing women's basketball player. Shantae Pelham, who was held the record for the MEAC for like 25 years in the 200-meter dash, still holds the FAMU records. She'll be back. Just greats from all over. Coach Hubbard, Billy Joe, Ajax Triplett, Mike Gillespie, Terrence Woods.
Oh,
everybody's coming back.
Oh man, nobody. And again, when we talk about nobody tells our stories better than us, this is what excellence will look like, and it's very important that the young people, the young Rattlers, have this to lean on, because when you want to understand why we brag and why we get out in these streets the way we are, it's because of these folks that's going to be in this building that represented the brand before, we were bragging different, and before family and all that stuff. These folks were carrying the orange and green hard, and it's why we brag the way we brag.
When and we have a big segment. We call it 2 acts in this Hall of Fame. The act 1, we're going to induct a new class. Mm-hmm. Act 2 is we're going to relive the history.
Yeah.
And that's through a lot of videos, photos, round tables. Like, we're going to get the 3 baseball players up there. And of course, it's hosted by Pam Oliver.
Nice.
So Pam Oliver will be interviewing the baseball players up there. Pam Oliver will be interviewing Rudy Hubbard and Veronica Wiggins and Billy Joe. It's just, when I say the best of the best and the cream of the crop, but also in the videos that we have acquired, to see the Queen of England hand Althea Gibson that plate for winning Wimbledon. People don't remember. The Queen hands the plate to the winner of Wimbledon, and she had never handed it to a black person. This for Venus and Serena, she handed it to Althea Gibson.
I don't think that even happened. That doesn't happen. Does that happen today?
I don't think the Queen does. I think the chairman of the chairman and the chair people of Wimbledon. But back then, the Queen actually handed the plate.
This is going to blow folks' mind. This might be the greatest night in FAMU athletics history that's happening. So y'all need to get your tickets. I mean, everyone who is listening and watching, you got to if you love FAMU athletics, and I don't care what sport it is, you want to be there for this event, because this might be the greatest night in FAMU athletics history. If anybody can steal that line and take it and do what you want to do with it. But this is going to be a great night.
That's what we intended it to be, exactly what you said. We thought about it, and our Sports Hall of Fame committee, we don't know how many centuries the committee has. You're talking about Coach Wiggins is on the committee. I'm on the committee. Marvin Green's on the committee. Ebenezer Oriaku's on the committee. you're talking about people who have been around FAMU for a long time. So what people don't really realize is I made the list of the people that were going to be in the countdown from my head. I didn't have to go to a book to know who needed to be on that countdown. I didn't have to go through any book, just in my mind. And my goodness, I started at 77. I say I should have started in the middle of the summer because they're just great. too many greats that you just can't even get to. So we actually kind of skipped around to make sure that we had different athletes, different sports, different coaches, contributors. Definitely represent our female athletes. We had a great history of female athletes, and they're represented in our countdown. So yeah, we don't know what time we're gonna get out of there Friday night because we gonna go till we finish. As we go until we finish.
This is like a coffee table bookie, man. There's so many things that y'all can do with this. God bless y'all, man. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Congratulations to you guys, and still more work to do, and I know you guys are grinding away and making all the plans, and so shout out to everybody who's a part of the planning committee and working to make it happen. So
yeah,
good stuff. Go ahead, Kelvin.
So Vaughn, talking about the game, Albany State game coming up. You had a chance to see a little bit of practices and scrimmage and talk with coach and the coaches. What's your assessment and what you're looking forward to for Saturday?
My thing is, ever since the gray staff has been in, you're always impressed with practice because it's organized, it's high spirited, there is teaching, the players are fully involved. I've known Sam Madison a long time. I've known Ron Dugans a long time. And there's an energy behind them coaching right now, especially Sam. Sam smiles more, but when Sam talks, you know how sometimes youngsters tune things out. They look him dead in the eye. They want to know what he knows. And I think when you have a staff like that the players want to learn from, that's a recipe for greatness.
Yep. So Vaughn, what's your approach now? You're a rattler, you're a Hall of Famer, but you're on a broadcast now. So what's your approach to doing that broadcast and not letting that homer come out?
But listen, Gerald and I talk about it. We laugh at it all the time. He laughed at it today because we were having our production meeting with Coach Gray. Coach Gray was like, Gerald asked Quinn a question. You should ask Vaughn that. Vaughn was here before me, such and such like that. And we got off. Gerald was like, I don't know how you're gonna do it. I was like, I say that's my biggest fear. But fortunately, over the years, FAMU has played Albany State a tremendous amount. And then if you don't recall, 4 years ago, Albany State lost their SID right before the season. And I actually filled in that season with Albany State. That was the year Gabe Gardenia won the SIAC and got into the playoffs before he left. So I'm even more familiar with Albany State than I was. So these are two teams that I know a lot about. I know a lot about the history of Albany State, about that great flood that they thought wiped the school totally out, but they rebuilt it bigger and better. And now, unlike what normally happens with black colleges, when the state decided to merge two schools, they merged the white school into the HBCU. So people don't know it, but Albany State actually has two campuses. The main campus where they are, the East Campus, and the West Campus has amazing facilities. A great gym. They got soccer. They got a great soccer field, great softball, baseball. They play all of that on the West Campus. So you're talking about a university that really is, if there is a Division II school that can move up, facility-wise and infrastructure, I think Albany State is prime for it because their facilities now better than a lot of D1 programs.
A lot of SWAC programs.
A lot of SWAC programs. And they own all of their facilities on campus.
Yep. It was on the tip of my tongue. Okay, so as we talk about Albany State, what have you been able to gather about our opponent coming up on Saturday? The starting quarterback was just announced the other day.
JD Davis.
And so what has their rebuild look like? I mean, we've seen obviously the numbers of guys who have come from there to FAMU, coaches included, but what's their rebuild been like?
The exact opposite of FAMU. When the news broke about FAMU and the APR and kids had the chance to scatter, 2 left, one of them was ineligible, was not going to play anyway. Albany State, when Coach Gray left, they literally scattered. Yeah. And so me as a broadcaster, what you do is go back and look at the roster and you look at the stats. Okay, the leading rusher. Okay, where is this guy? He was a sophomore last year. Where is he now? He's not on the team anymore. Let's look at the second leading rusher. Well, that guy was just a freshman. Where is he? He's not on the roster anymore. In this transfer portal era, it's very difficult from one year to the next. So this first game is going to be an experiment for Coach Bowser because he's got an extremely new group of talent put together to put on that field. FAMU has an advantage that a lot of the core of the players that played last year are still together. So in that vein, Coach Bowser is going to be experimenting because these kids have never played together, and they haven't bonded together because just like I say, it was amazing how far you had to go deep to see somebody on the stats that's actually still on the roster.
And I'm sorry, one more question, Kelvin. Bowser, Coach Bowser, what's his background? Where did he come from?
I don't have my notes in front of me right now. Bowser came from
He was
that's all right.
Coordinator at like one of those Carolina schools last, right?
Oh my gosh, why did I draw a blank right now?
I'm sorry, it's all good.
Yeah, but he has been in the HBCU realm, and he's kind of been around in the realm, and it's difficult. Who wants to come in behind a coach who just won the championship?
Right.
That's a difficult job to take because they don't want the fans don't want to hear anything about the transfer portal. They don't want to hear about NIL. They don't want to hear about personnel. They want to hear why you're not winning the game. Instantly after Coach Gray won the game. Yeah, but Coach Gray took the quarterback with him that led to winning most of those games. And then the other guys Coach Gray won with, they're all at other places now. So it's a true rebuild that he has to do at Albany State. And he's got the right mentality about it. He's an upbeat guy. I also picked up with interviewing him for SWAC TV that he's going to do everything he can to win this game, but he's not going to put all his eggs in the basket that this game is going to determine his season. And I think that's a great approach. That's a great approach, because the team last year very well had a chance to beat us.
Oh, yeah.
But they didn't let that stop their momentum. They kept going, and I think Coach is taking a little even more precautious approach to this game, that he has to learn what he has and make sure that these pieces can work together, because let's face it, this game for them doesn't count.
Doesn't even count in the Division II playoff ranking. So when we say it doesn't count, like it doubly doesn't count. It's like non-conference doesn't count on the conference, and it doesn't even factor into whether they will or won't get a shot at going to the playoffs. So this is a true exhibition game for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So they probably will come in loose, and that's literally what they need to do. And to hear the coach say that was that tells me that he's a mature coach, because that is the attitude you need to have.
Yeah, he has a relationship with the AD. He was
Johnson C. Smith. Thank
Yeah.
you for those in the chat. Johnson C. Smith. That's where it came from.
Yeah, I know it was one of the Carolina schools. But yeah, he has a relationship previously with the AD, so he'll have time to kind of get everything going. And Albany State is one of those programs that traditionally is just used to winning. They hadn't had a losing season in like 30, 40 years now. It's been a minute. So
yeah,
as Vaughn pointed out, the expectation is going to be high. But it's so much newness with this team, and to start off with a team like FAMU, even though there's some new parts, it's a very experienced team with a experienced system. So it's a tough ask in game one for him. So that's exactly, I agree with you. That's the approach he should take.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a very smart approach. That tells me he has a high coaching IQ.
All right. So how so with HBCU game day, are you still covering the state? Obviously, you've got those folks over on the beach. You've got Edward Waters. You got Florida Memorial, who've got a big game coming up. Are you're engrossed in you're covering all four in the state, correct?
Yes, I cover those are my teams in the state, along with Albany State, and that's going to be a very interesting game in Jacksonville on Saturday, as Florida Memorial will visit Edward Waters, and Bryan Jenkins has a stick over there, and they're expecting them to win the SIAC. DJ Boney, who's a former FAMU quarterback, was going to lead Edward Waters, and he looked really, really comfortable over there with Bryan Jenkins' offense in the spring. So, and they got a couple more transfers over, some from FBS schools. And so it's going to be interesting to see what Bryan Jenkins cooks up over there. And but they've always had trouble with Florida Memorial. So that story is not done. The Unity Classic, spearheaded by Reverend R.B. Holmes, who spearheaded that classic to start that classic for Jacksonville. And that'll be, I just wish it wasn't the same day as the FAMU game, because I'd love to see it. But, just a little bit off subject, Edward Waters used to be an afterthought of a school.
Yep.
But since Dr. A. Zachary Faison has gotten
Yes, sir.
They got the highest enrollment, highest graduation. They're getting funding for new buildings. I mean, dorms, they got a new plan for dorms on campus. It is really, really growing, and it's good to see an HBCU, because we always hear about the HBCU struggling. But Edward Waters is thriving to the 10th degree.
Yeah. But by the way, fellas, a little bit off subject, but it's amazing how many former FAMU quarterbacks look like they're gonna be starting this year.
I was just thinking that.
They're a lot.
I count 3 for sure, and a fourth one if the injury didn't happen.
What?
Yeah.
So you mean there was talent in that quarterback room, huh?
Evidently.
Amazing. Who knew? Well, I mean, I'll be a messy. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, okay. So, Vaughn, I'm not going to ask you a prediction for the game, but I will ask you from the FAMU overall season perspective, your floor and ceiling. We've been kind of asking people. Last week we asked our friends that you heard Gerald's floor and ceiling. What's the floor and ceiling on this FAMU season for you?
7-5 for the floor, and 10-2 for the ceiling.
All right, it's kind of about in line with a lot of us. I think I was on the 10. I was on the 10-win ceiling train as well. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
But with football, there is a luck aspect. You're gonna need a little luck to have a great season like that. But that also can turn against you. So you just gotta put that one additional game in there, or possibly on the loss side where some luck may not go your way. But I expect a big rebound. First off, the coaches' attitudes. Second off, the players' attitudes because of the coaches. And the fact that they are hell-bent on playing spoiler this year. And so they're not like they're playing for nothing. They are playing for something.
That's right.
All right. And again, once again, who's your play-by-play man for
Gerald? Gerald is my play-by-play, and Simone Stanley is my
is Jared going to be
Jared Oliver?
Jared Oliver.
I'm sorry. He actually called a game last year.
Okay.
Jared did. The FAMU Albany State game. Jared Oliver, he's really, really good. And he's listen, sometimes you work with your partner and you don't know what their ethics is. This guy is a professional to the 10th degree in us preparing. I mean, we literally talk every day preparing for this game. So I like people that invest in their product. So I just feel comfortable with working with him on Saturday that we'll be on the same page.
You got your suit picked out?
Got my suit picked out. Neutral colors, but that's a challenge for me. I got to buy several new suits this year because Florida Classic, I host that luncheon and I have to keep a neutral suit. So, oh man, I'm running out of these neutral because if I wear one that looks like either one of them colors, I'm gonna hear it from the other one. So it got to stay completely neutral. So I ordered a couple.
You just wear black. Wear black and white. You can't go wrong, Vaughn. You can't go wrong. Black and white.
I forgot I had my Hall of Fame pin on my jacket. Oh no, I heard that too.
Oh well, look, you are who you are. You can't hide that now. Come on now. They got to respect that. All right. So the broadcast kicks off 7:00 p.m. Eastern. HBCUGO is where you
Swag TV.
Oh, I'm sorry, Swag TV. This is okay. Swag TV. Swag TV. Okay, my apology. I think I've met Jared. I think Jared is based out of. I think he's based out of Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. If it's who I think it is, but
he might be. He does high school football, and
I think I met. I think I was working some. I know I met Jared. Okay, he done some basketball stuff with Swag TV as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I think it's the same person. Okay. Well, I'll see you guys up there, and we look forward to it. Congratulations! We'll see Simone. Simone, she got about as many jobs as you. Simone's everywhere. I mean,
I don't know how that young lady slows down, but I'm proud of her because she grinds, and she got to be probably one of the most credentialed media persons in America because she's credentialed by everybody now, from soccer to golf to football, baseball, basketball, WNBA. The FIFA, she was at FIFA. She's everywhere. I'm really, really proud of her. And I tell people, you got to get on your grind. I tell young people that. And I do want to send a shout out to Germany Bozeman, FAMU grad.
Yeah.
Germany is now the MEAC digital host. And I was proud because the MEAC called me when they were getting ready to contact her. And they said when they saw me have her to interview Trey Oliver last year after the North Carolina Central game, and knowing that Trey's a good guy, but if the reporter steps out of line, we know which way Trey could go. And they saw the way she handled that interview. And Trey Oliver told me he liked how professional she was. She was informed. She had good questions. And she didn't make him wait. Well, I kept telling her, we're going to have this camera ready. All he's going to have to do is walk in the spot and start, because I know Trey. But she took that, and a FAMU grad, Delta, and she is doing a great job. She is putting a lot of content out for the MEAC. So we want to send a Rattler shout out to Germany Bozeman. She's one of ours, and she's doing a great job at on the MEAC Digital.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Well, Rattlers everywhere. We all over the airwaves. You can't hide from us.
Yeah. You saw Ty just picked up another gig.
Oh, I missed that.
Birmingham Barons or something. She gonna be doing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Good for
she just announced that today or last night or something.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right. Well, SWAC TV it is. 7 o'clock kickoff. FAMU Albany State. Vaughn Wilson, FAMU Hall of Famer. Vaughn, we will talk soon. We'll see you soon, man.
Hey, thanks anytime, man. Y'all keep up the absolute great work y'all do week after week.
Appreciate you, brother.
Y'all.
Appreciate you, Vaughn.
Okay.
All right. All right. Kelvin?
We want to roll. What we want to roll into. Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, definitely. Let's keep it rolling. Let's go right into predictions. Well, hold on. Before we do that, before we go predictions for the game, I'm trying to see if I can switch over a couple things here in the background. Volleyball. Look, I had a nice volleyball schedule graphic, but the way my computer is acting, I'm not even going to try it because it may kick me off, and then it'll just be you talking for the next, I don't know how long. But I will. Let me see if I can find the article so I can mention volleyball.
While are you looking at an article, I was at the Edward Waters exhibition game, which was at Gaither Gym. And we swept all 5 games. They played, even though, the game usually ends at 3, they played all 5 sets.
Oh, they did? Okay, well, that makes sense. Give everybody some time.
And we played everybody that was dressed out in all sets. And I know Farrell didn't play, but it was one other person on the bench, 1 or 2 other people on the bench that didn't play either. But we're very long. That stood out. How much taller than we were. And Edward Waters was pretty feisty and athletic now. I'm looking for them to be pretty competitive in their division too. But we were long and tall, and I like a lot of what I saw. Coach, this is his team, and he's pretty confident in them. And the thing about this team, because like the very first set, they were down a lot. That first set, they're not game planning. They tinkering with the lineups and stuff. So, it ain't about dominating and winning. But the team was consistent, no matter what the score was. They was focused on the next play, and then the next kill, the next dig. So, and then there was a bunch of referees because the referees was using that exhibition game to train some new folks and get in some work themselves. And they needed that work because their eyes weren't very good sometimes. But
so let me ask this: in looking at the setup for Gaither, you had one side open for bleachers. You had the upper deck of the side that was pushed in. We've talked about this before, with the exception of you mentioned locker room issues. What are the other hurdles or challenges that are preventing games from being really played in Gaither? From what you saw,
it doesn't have a true pay system. You had to bring in a score clock to keep scoring time. Even though there's some clocks on the wall, but there's no video, and then there's no. I'm not sure if it's programmed to do volleyball. So it's things like that normally you would have for an NCAA match, room for the referees. But I got a feeling they'll probably end up playing 1 or 2 games in Gaither based on the home schedule and the conflicts with probably, I'm thinking really the homecoming games around that, but it's a perfect spot for volleyball. We need to go and make that investment into Gaither so it can be the home of FAMU volleyball because it's intimate. It can be very loud with less people, and they have access to it a lot more freely than the Lawson Center. So I would love to see that happen.
The upcoming season opens at the Betty Austin Invitational for volleyball, which is in Huntsville, Alabama. So they will be playing those games in the arena there in Huntsville on the campus of Alabama A&M. The two-time defending SWAC champions play 3 matches in this neutral site tournament where they will face North Carolina Central,
right,
and Delaware State.
That's on Friday.
And Maryland Eastern Shore,
which is on Saturday.
Yeah, so the schedule of games on Friday, 11 a.m.
Yep.
They will take on North Carolina Central. And I don't know if that's 11 a.m. Eastern or 11 a.m. Central.
I'm guessing Central, because that would be 10 a.m. Central if it was Eastern. That's kind of early.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for the press announcements on, and I mean, again, I'm looking at the article on the FAMU Athletics website and the app, by the way. Just a reminder, go download that FAMU Rattlers app. Make sure you're updated with that.
Yes.
But North Carolina Central, 11 a.m. And then at 5 p.m., again, don't know if it's Eastern or Central, but at 5 p.m., they take on Delaware State. Then on Saturday, they play Maryland Eastern Shore at 1 p.m. Saturday. So who knows? The volleyball team might be pulling up back on campus by the time the football game is, at least by halftime, if they leave right after their game. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
But it's a good opportunity. You know, there aren't too many times that we get a chance to have an HBCU volleyball tournament. It's one of those things that I've been advocating for.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who the other SWAC schools are that are playing in this. I imagine this is kind of like this looks like it's a MEAC versus SWAC.
It is.
Kind of tournament thing, which is good. So congrats to the organizers for being able to pull this off. But, yeah, I mean, it's a good opportunity for the Lady Rattlers to show up and for HBCU volleyball to get some. And I'm hoping this is on SWAG TV. I know with the great broadcast crew that is at Alabama A&M, I'm hoping that these matches, all of them, will be streaming on either SWAC TV or the MEAC Sports app.
Okay, Bryan, and I just pulled it up. So it's Alabama A&M, Pine Bluff, FAM, and Valley from the SWAC.
Okay.
And it's Delaware State, Maryland Eastern Shore, Central, and South Carolina State from the MEAC.
Oh, that's really good. So it's an 18 field, and we play 3 of the 4 MEAC schools. That's really good.
Yep.
Really good. Also, volleyball news before we move off volleyball. You guys talked about it last week. I think the announcement had come out that FAMU was the preseason favorite to win. I think you guys talked about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what you didn't have was the all SWAC preseason volleyball selections.
Right.
The Rattlers had 4 players on the first and second teams, beginning with true sophomore LaDonna Trantham, who earned preseason all-SWAC first team honors as the outside right side hitter. Junior Sydney Whitfield, who's also an outside right side hitter, was let's see. Oh, okay. So junior Sydney Whitfield, senior Farrah Farouk, who's a middle blocker, and junior Mackenzie Taylor, who's a setter. Those three ladies made second team.
Mm-hmm.
So again, Trantham first team, Whitfield second team, Farouk second team, Taylor second team. Again, all returning starters, along with Tamia Coleman, who we had on the show last week. All of them are the main returners. I mean, it's only 6. And then don't forget, this team's got returners like Iana Sanford, who's coming back after a season of injury. Of course, I mean, she was an outstanding all-SWAC as far back as a freshman. So, I mean,
yes,
you talk about having true SWAC hours and honors under her belt. So she's hopefully coming back 100%. This team is loaded. This team is really loaded. And this is one of those teams that, I mean, I don't say easily. Let me catch myself. This is a 20-win plus projected type of squad that we have this year.
That's definitely fair. Particularly if they get off to, based on the different tournaments they got to play in out of conference. Yeah, if they perform well out of conference, absolutely. By the way, I'm looking at the Alabama A&M website, and so yes, those time on the FAMU website were Eastern time, because it's 10 a.m. on Alabama's side in terms of the Central game, 4 p.m. against Delaware State, and then noon against Maryland Eastern Shore on Saturday.
Right. Okay. So good luck to the safe travels and good luck to the Lady Rattlers.
Let's go, ladies. Let's go get it.
Exactly. Hopefully you Rattlers, any Rattlers in Alabama, if you're not coming down to the football game, go support. Go support in Huntsville. Great facilities there at Alabama A&M. Good opportunity to see HBCU volleyball in that community. Alabama A&M, they're in Atlanta. So, if should be a great opportunity to go see some HBC volleyball if you're up in that area.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's transition over to the football field. Home opener, 7:00. It's a gray out. Got my gray shirt on, Kelvin. I'm ready.
I got my gray jersey. This is actually a dark charcoal gray too, but I have my gray outfit ready, and I bring my O&G for live stuff. But I'm gonna be comfortable and eat some tailgate and get some barbecue.
Okay. What time now? Refresh my memory. What time does the tailgate and all the food eating start with Rick over there? I think 1?
1 o'clock.
Okay. So I know where I'll be at 1. I don't know where I probably will need a nap. So I may have to hide away somewhere in the press box somewhere for maybe an hour of siesta. We are planning to have a pregame show. What did we say? We said either 4 or 5 o'clock. Stay tuned. You will get the official announcement of the pregame show. It'll be definitely myself, Kelvin. You'll see Troy White. You'll see Keith Hadley. Maybe Marcus Green remote. We're working all the extras out, but amongst those of us who will be on site or remote, we will be doing something either 2 to 3 hours before every kickoff this season. Again, pregame show, no more than 30, 45 minutes, just to kind of, set the table, let you know what the scene is looking like. And we'll be doing that. Campbell, Campbell, if you're available and in, we'll let you know. I didn't want to speak for you, but if I know that you will be there, we know we're gonna have a spot for you, without a doubt. And then we will be doing post games this year. We are dedicating at least 1 hour after the conclusion of the game. That allows enough time for the post game press conference and all that stuff to occur. So be looking out after the game. 45 minutes to an hour after the game concludes, we will have a live post game. So give you a chance to kind of, what do you say, you got to have a cooling off period, even sometimes after a win, but definitely after, if there is a loss, you got to have a cooling off period. So we'll give you a chance, Rattler Nation, to react to what you've seen. We'll have call-in lines so you can actually call in and share your thoughts on the game and what you saw. So I have no idea what that's going to look like, but we're trying it this year. We're going to see what happens.
And for the question about Tony, question about radio, PBD. I know it's being worked on.
Who asked that?
Tony Williams.
Oh, okay, Tony.
Yeah, I know it's being worked on, and some things still need to be signed, but they're working hard to try to make it happen on 96.1. So just stay tuned. We'll see. That's all we can say.
Okay. Bold predictions. I got a couple now. This, I want to say this before the landscape changes. This is a unique weekend in college football. There are about 34 FCS schools playing week 0. There's only 8 FBS games. So that's 16 FBS schools. But when I say there are 34 FCS schools, now some of them are playing Division II opponents. I know there's some HBCUs playing Division II opponents, right? So there will be no weekend like this weekend for HBCU football because there are some 20 to 21 games. Don't hold me to the exact number. It's either 20 or 21 that will be happening on this week. I think Delaware State plays tomorrow, correct? I think that's the only Thursday game. And then everybody else is playing Saturday. So this is a big weekend for HBCU football. And given some new legislation that went down, Kelvin, it might be the only time that we see a weekend where there is more HBCU football on TV and streaming than anywhere else. Right? Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah. Yes. I would. We'll be all over the place. You got the MEAC SWAT Challenge, the Birmingham Football Classic with Alabama State and Southern. You got the John Merritt Classic, Jackson State and Tennessee State. Of course, the MEAC SWAT Challenge, Alabama A&M and Howard. And a neutral state kickoff classic. That's interesting. Morehouse and Pine Bluff.
Yeah, exactly. Campbell said there's four HBCUs are playing Division II games. And so tomorrow, Delaware State is playing Stony Brook and Valley is playing Nicholls State. Both of those games are happening Thursday. Before we get to the fit, and I gotta, did I miss the memo that Marcus had to step out?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't get to the chat, so I wasn't able to see. So I was wondering, I just looked back, I said, man, where did Marcus go? Okay. So I don't know, I just want to let you guys know, because you may have been like, what happened to Marcus? But yeah, okay, so he had to go. Okay, so yeah. No bold predictions from Marcus. Tapped out on us early. Okay, I can't pull up the graphic. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to try it given my computer connections, but looking at the SWAC schedule, we like to go through the SWAC schedule and just kind of share some thoughts here very briefly. Before I ask you, let's start this. Let's start this, Kelvin. Obviously we know the FAMU Albany State, but I wouldn't call that one of the best. I wouldn't call that game of the week. Game of the week. There's some good matchups in week 1. What's your game of the weekend? Who are you looking at? Game of the weekend.
I'm gonna go with JSU TSU because a lot of folks saying it ain't gonna be competitive, and I just think that's kind of disrespectful. We know JSU gonna be good, right? I just don't think you better judge TSU by last year's results. They coaching staff know what the hell they doing. I believe in Barlow, and then they got Central offensive coordinator. They had a whole off season and recruiting cycle, and defensively they were competitive, and I think back to the Hampton game last year when JSU played Hampton early, and that was tied going into the fourth quarter. So I'm just saying that game intrigues me a little bit.
That game kicks off at 7:30. That's 7:30 Eastern. Nope. Let me make sure I got this right because this graphic is from the SWAC. So that's probably the game is in Nashville. Nashville is on Eastern time. So that should be a 7:30 kickoff. It's on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So if you guys in the chat can confirm that is an Eastern kickoff, 7:30. Hold on, Campbell. What did Campbell just send me? What did you just send me, Campbell? As I'm reading images and okay. So Campbell got a nice little graphic here. Okay. See, I like this. All right. Valley and Nichols plays at 7:00 tomorrow. 8:30. Okay, so that SWAC graphic is what it is. That's I don't know. SWAC always does Central Time. So Tennessee State, Jackson State is an 8:30 Eastern kickoff. Woo! Talk about late on ESPN Plus. Now that game will be played on the campus of Vanderbilt, where Vanderbilt plays. I guess that's Nissan Stadium. I don't think that's the right stadium name, but anyway.
No, Nissan is the
big. They had to move this game.
Play, right?
Yeah, this game is moved over to Vanderbilt Stadium.
Right.
Okay. So that game is on ESPN Plus. So that's your game of the weekend. I got some tough ones here, man. I have not seen the line on the Central. I think I saw Johnny Thornton say the Central Tennessee State or Texas Southern game. I think he said 11 and a half.
11 and a half, I think. Yeah.
11 and a half for a road favorite? Woo-wee. I'm going to tell you what. I would be, if that's the true number, I'm just going to say FanDuel, right? Let's just, because I know FanDuel put a lot of numbers out. But if it truly is 11 and a half for a road team, I'm taking Texas Southern at home plus the 11 and a half. That's my lock of the day, is taking a home team that is giving plus 10 points. Come on now, that's highly disrespectful. Highly disrespectful for Texas Southern at home. So give me Texas Southern plus the 11 and a half. I want to pick that game, but I can't. I want to pick the Alabama A&M Howard game. Anybody got a line on that one? Alabama A&M Howard?
It's like 2 points, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, the line, I think
that can be a very close game. I think that can come down. I mean, because do we really know what either team has? I mean, I think we're watching just to see what those teams have, right?
Right.
So I think it'll be a very close, competitive ball game. I think it'll be a fun watch. That'll be 7:30 on ABC, the MEAC SWAC Challenge. I will come back. Let me say this. I know the line was like nearly 3 touchdowns for Jackson State, Tennessee State. Give me all the points you can give me with Tennessee State. I expect a 20. I posted this on. on somebody else's show, on Timona's show. Jackson State 24-21. Give me the points. I'll take the points with Tennessee State. I like you said, Kelvin, I think JSU may win, but I'd be really surprised if Tennessee State laid down like that.
Right.
So
at home.
Well, in the home city.
Yeah.
Even though Jackson State, I think, is going to own the stadium. It's like 70-30 will be Jackson State. That's how crazy it is. I think it'll be 70-30, and they'll probably sell over 35. You'll have an attendance over 35. Over 35,000.
Yeah, Jackson will travel for sure.
Yeah, home opener in that new stadium there where Vanderbilt plays. Tennessee State fans might be in their feelings about going over there, so they may not show.
Man, they played in Vanderbilt Stadium back in the day when FAMU used to play. When FAMU played them up there, they didn't play in hell. They played in Vanderbilt Stadium.
Ooh, JSU is a 19.5-point favorite. Give me all the points I can gobble up and give me Tennessee State plus the 19.5. EA said it's 19.5. Yeah, I'll take that 19.5. Ron Jab said Howard by 6. Steve said the line is plus 2.5 for A&M and Howard. So Howard is a favorite. That's shocking to me. That might make me take A&M, but I'd rather get 3 points. I'd rather see more Howard people lay some more money before I go there. So I guess that's gonna be for me. My game of the weekend is at 3:00 Eastern on ESPNU. Southern versus Alabama State. I know the point spread is a lot. I think I saw the point spread is Alabama State by like almost 18 points, 18.5. Carlos Brown was talking about it on Saturday.
I'd stay away from that one. I will, because you have no idea about Southern. You know what Alabama State is going to be. You have no idea one way or the other with Southern.
But you know who also doesn't have any idea about Southern? Alabama State.
But it only matters if Southern is talented enough and work as a unit. It's the first game out of the box. Just don't know. That's my thing. Don't know. That's too much of a risk for me. I'm risk adverse.
Okay, let's put it this way. Last year, if you go back and look at Mike Vick and Deshaun Jackson's first game.
That's my point.
I don't think they were major. I could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think both of them got blown out. I think Delaware State was competitive, and I think Norfolk State at least was competitive for a half, maybe 3/4. Neither team got blown out by 3 touchdowns. So all that to say, Kelvin, I think Southern and whatever this new offense is that everybody's talking about, this go-go offense.
You gotta have the you gotta have the horses though to run it.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe they have the horses.
Maybe they don't.
I'm just
That's
saying.
My point.
There's too much of it. I mean, look, you're telling me so what you're telling me, and I love Andrew Body, but with a spread like that, you're telling me that Andrew Body by himself is worth about maybe 10 to 14 points on a spread?
I'm not saying
against a conference.
You saying him by himself.
I'm just looking.
Alabama State defense usually is pretty solid.
Usually.
And they have other playmakers. They did have a lot of turnover now. They lost 4 of their top 6 wide receivers. They lost 2 running backs. So you got Tony Hull, a proven commodity, but first time as the OC at Alabama State. So, yeah, they do have some questions.
I don't know if the Alabama State's defense is – I just don't know yet if they're going to be as sharp in game 1 as they will be by the time they play that game against that school from Mississippi, right? So the opening for Southern to have a good game is there. We know Andrew Body's going to show up, and he's going to show out. He'll probably have like 4 touchdown passes, maybe a rushing touchdown. But who's to say Southern won't put up 3 touchdowns on their own? I'm not saying I'm going to play. I'm like you. I may not play that game. But of all the games that have my interest peaked, some of them do. That game, I'm very interested. I think I'm interested because I want to see what Marshall Faulk's offense is going to look like.
That's the point.
I want to see what that team is going to look like.
That is the point to you and Hollow. That you don't know about that staff or the talent, so you don't know. It's just risk. I'm not saying they're going to be good or bad, but you don't know. And I tend to believe what I see and what I know.
Wait a minute. You saw what Campbell said? Wait a minute. Campbell, are you serious? Body might go for at least 35. Well, here's the thing. If Body scores 35 in the first half and it's a blowout, the second half will be the other backup quarterback, and he might be the second or third best quarterback in the SWAC.
That's true.
So if it's as bad as it could be, you know what I would look for? Okay, so I'm going to tell you to play on this game, everybody. Go look for the team total on Alabama State. Go look for the team total, and if it's in the 40s, if it's in the 30s, definitely take the over. I would say 40 to 42 points is probably what it should be. And if you see anything lower, take the over on Alabama State team total points.
All right, we don't talk enough about them. Okay. Let's get to the Rattlers.
Well, okay, let me I'll just mention other games here before we mention this. Alcorn State is hosting Miles College at 6 p.m. on SWAC TV. UAPB is hosting Morehouse at 6 p.m. No, excuse me. Let me back up. Alcorn, I got to remember these times that I'm looking at are Central times. So right. Alcorn is hosting Miles at 6 p.m. Central on SWAC TV. UAPB hosting Morehouse at 6 p.m. on SWAC TV. Grambling hosting Clark at 6 p.m. Central on SWAC TV. I already mentioned that the Texas Southern versus North Carolina Central game is 6 p.m. Central on HBCUGO. Alabama A&M and Howard and the MEAC SWAC Challenge on ABC, 7:30 Eastern. And then a little late night watching. Prairie View travels to Tarleton State. That's a 9 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Man, I'll be interested to see.
Yeah. That was.
I want to see what kind of fight. There's a lot of noise coming out of Prairie View. I want to see what kind of fight. The first half is going to be interesting. I might take Prairie View in the first half because they may play with a little bit of fight, and then we'll see what the second half looks like. Is Tarleton State at FCS, or did they move up yet?
I don't know if they transitioned or not. I think it's still FCS.
Check. Yeah. All right. Prairie View is, but I think like Tarleton State is ranked or rated like a top 20 school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Prairie View has that swagger about them. They're going to come to play. I would, if you see a double-digit point spread, I might take Prairie View in the double-digit points on that game. And then, okay, so then that puts it into, for our game is a 7 o'clock Eastern kickoff on SWAC TV, Albany State against FAMU. You heard Jared Oliver and Vaughn Wilson on the play-by-play in color. Simone Stanley on the field doing the on-the-field reports. That's your broadcast team. Let's talk bold predictions. I'll give mine first, Kelvin, and let you go last. How about that?
Okay.
So, bold prediction time. Now, a couple things. I really think FAMU has the possibility of putting up 28 to 31 first half points up. I really think that's going to be possible. And I think you could see, I don't think there's any this is not this isn't like a get back game. This is not one of those. I don't think this is not like, Isaiah Knowles or Quinn Gray, has any pay. I don't think they have bad, malicious thoughts and feelings towards Albany State. So I don't think they're out to wreak havoc, but I do think they want to show a lot of efficiency. But I think that'll only go so far because they do understand that they have an opponent the following week. So I wouldn't be surprised if you only see Isaiah Knowles for maybe 2 quarters, maybe 2.5 quarters. I expect FAMU to kind of have 31 points max, 28 to 31 points. So I'm going to say Isaiah Knowles with 4 touchdowns combined. Some may be running, some may be throwing, but a total of 4 touchdowns. And I also think with what we've seen, would not be surprised if you have a running back rush over 100 yards. So there you go. There's my bold prediction. FAMU will, can I give one more? FAMU will score more than 42 points in this game. There you go. Calling it. More than 42 points in the contest. 42 or more. So take you can't get any lines because we're playing a D2, but if you're lucky enough and you can find it, take the team total over.
Okay. So my bold prediction is going to be on the defensive side. I'm predicting 3 turnovers by the FAMU defense.
Okay.
And let me go 3 sacks. 3 turnovers, 3 sacks.
3 and 3s.
Yep. And I agree with you, but you got to remember, there's a lot of former Albany State players on our team.
Yes. Yep.
So they are chirping with anybody
former
who left.
Players, really?
It ain't a whole bunch of them, but it's a few of them left, and they chirping to them. So they gonna have a little edge to them. But man, have them watch. I think this Albany State team, you're asking a lot for them. This is just a tough matchup with a new staff, really a pretty new team, and it's going to take time for them to come together, and they playing a team that is really skilled. I'm telling you, our team is really fast this year, and in the skill positions, we have a lot of depth, and we run in a tempo, and I just don't think they can mimic that in practice at the speed at which they will see it at, and at the efficiency that they will see it at. I don't know why people keep saying that we undersized either. We're really not for a FCS squad. I mean, we're going to have, even if you looked at the roster and thought the starting offensive line was as it is on paper, we still have 300 pounders. Everybody sits to or better. We're not small. We're not humongous, but we're not small. And the guys can play, which is the bottom line for me. They actually have great technique and can play. From what I've seen from our receiver and running back crew, and then, of course, the efficiency of the play calling along with having a signal caller that experience, I just don't think they can slow us down. I don't. And I agree with you that I don't know how fast the first quarter would be, but by that second quarter, man, I expect us to put up 3 or 4 touchdowns for sure. So I think the game will get away, but because of his Albany State and those, I think he'll come out for at least one series. Even if we're up by 25-30 at halftime, he'll come out for the first series of the second half, and then they might call it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get my score prediction. I agree with you that
I see us above 40. So I'm gonna go 45-7 as the score.
Thinking about you potentially might see a second group led by QB2. And just think of how deep our receiver. I mean, look, how many receivers did we talk about?
8
last week. We talked about 8 different receivers in a room of about 15.
Right.
So if we just talk about those 8 guys playing, you potentially could have a second group that is just as productive.
No drop off.
Yeah. Right. In this game.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it'll be a battle to see based on how many points we score in the first half, whether we double that up in the second.
I see people talking about our defensive tackling, and they've had to deal with these Skip Haley and the skilled people. They see them in practice. They won't be playing nobody better than they practice against this week anyway. And the challenge that Albany State and everybody else who plays is gonna have, you better tackle well in open space. If you miss these guys, fire up the cannons because it's over.
Oh yeah, what's the over under on how many times we're gonna hear the cannon? Now hold on, let's clarify something. Did the cannons go off on field goals and touchdowns, or with just touchdowns?
I remember, I thought it was touchdowns after the extra point and field goals. But that's all just right. I'm getting old now, so
yeah. I mean, how many years has it been since we had the cannon? It's been how many years?
When did your friend become AD?
Okay, so let's set these. God bless it. How many over under? I'm gonna set the line at 5.5. No, I'm gonna go up 1. 6.5 on the cannon. Boom, cannon booms. Over or under 6.5.
I'm going over because I said 45.
I think I think they may pull the plug on booming it in the second half just because it's late night.
No.
You don't think they're gonna pull the plug? You think they just
the ROTC has been given specific instructions by the athletic department, particularly coach. Coach want to hear that boom every time. We brought it to use it.
We have said we've set the line at 6.5. So I think we're going over. Both Kelvin and I. So that means 7 or more times that we will hear the boom of the cannon this weekend. So that's big numbers. Big numbers. So all right. Good stuff. Okay. Hollow said it used to be both. So okay.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm seeing Kelvin said 45-7.
Yep.
So Kelvin's giving him 7 points. I'm gonna go 45-3. I don't think we give up a touchdown. I'm going 45-3. I think Coach Lewis is going to he's going to do everything in his will to make sure and coach and make sure we don't give up a touchdown, especially if we haven't given up one in the first half. The emphasis will be there to not give up one in the second half. So, all right. What's EA said? Cannon doesn't go off on field goals. I kind of thought the same thing. I thought it was touchdowns only.
Nah, I think I'm Pretty sure I don't heard it golf.
A lot of people saying both.
Yeah.
This who is this right here? All right.
But
Teresa Wesley said it goes off on both. So okay.
Yeah, the cannon's supposed to come in. I don't know, it might be here now. It was supposed to come in this week. And I saw where, I'm sorry I didn't put it on the graphics slides, but I saw where they'll be testing it either tomorrow or Friday. I can't remember. And they invited folks to come check it out.
Oh, so they're doing tests tomorrow.
Tomorrow or Friday. I can't remember which one.
You got to save it for Friday. You can't test it tomorrow. Save it for Friday. All right. Do we know if the team is doing the Rattler Walk and all of those kind of traditions and things? Okay.
Yeah, they actually did a rent or a walkthrough of all that with their mock game on Saturday. On their mock scrimmage. So yes.
Okay. All right. Well, touchdowns after the extra point. So does that mean we have to score? What if we miss the extra point? Cannon doesn't go off?
No, we shoot it anyway. Boom.
Well, I'm asking for specifics, and I'm seeing so many different answers. I guess we got to ask Coach. So we got to send a text to Coach, and maybe for the pregame show, we can get some official clarification on what are the rules for the cannon. Is it all points? Is it field goals, touchdowns? Are we waiting to? I think this is people want to know. You want to. I don't want to guess. I don't want to guess this. So we got to reach out to Coach Kelvin and tomorrow, and let's see if we can get some official clarification on this, so that we're not guessing. And then guess what?
He ain't gonna be firing the cannon.
Well, then who's in charge then? So then let's find who's in charge then. Okay. I don't care who. Find out somebody.
Yeah.
Find out. I know you got connections. You're a credentialed guy now. So, all right. What is this? What is this? EA said what? Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. If you stand in front of it, buddy.
Oh.
You're going to feel it.
That's got to be brutal. I mean, I bet his ears were ringing for days.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, this show has brightened up my day. It really has. And I'm excited for Coach Gordon. We'll see if we can go back and we need to do an article on our Substack from that conversation, and we can share some of the nuggets that she laid out for the upcoming schedule.
I got you. I'm doing one for women's. I'm gonna do a separate one for women's and men's basketball.
Cool. And so if you guys have not gone and checked out our Substack page, you go check out our Substack page. More stories are upcoming. The guys are working on it. Marcus and Keith Hadley. Kelvin's going to do some stuff. So we're looking forward to add that little component to what we do. If you're interested in being a contributor, holler, reach out, let us know. I mean, we're looking to kind of expand just the information, and especially we're gonna really get deep into the recruiting. So we're gonna try to really blow that piece up. So hopefully, not that we're competing with Gerald. Gerald's got a lot on his plate, but we want to add some different elements that maybe Gerald doesn't get a chance to get to. So we're gonna try to dip our toe in there. And so we're looking forward to the pregame show, which will happen 2 to 3 hours before kickoff. So be looking out for an announcement on that. It'll only be on 1 or 2 channels. So it's not going to be everywhere. Like, this show is everywhere. You're going to have to make sure you're following us on social media, so that way you can go and find the pregame show. And we will have a postgame show as well, about an hour after the conclusion of the game. That'll give us enough time to kind of hear the coach's thoughts in the postgame and stuff like that. So looking forward to it. Thank you to everybody who has reached out. I want to just personally say thank you to everybody who's reached out. If you know what's been going on and the delays. Thank you for asking. Thank you for your concerns. Thank you, Rattler Nation, for your interest and your investment in the product. And I think I can speak on behalf of Al Chester. We want to be calling games on Saturday. And if it's the Lord's will and all the T's get crossed and the I's get dotted, it will happen on Saturday. So just be patient, and when we know, we'll let you know out there on Facebook and on social media. So that's going to do it. Any other closing words you got, Kelvin?
No, let's go Rattlers.
Right. I would. Let me see. I don't even think. Let me see if I can squeeze in the Let's Go anthem. I don't know if it'll play. Fingers crossed here. Let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Here we go. Let's see if it'll play. And if it plays, we're in good shape. I don't know if it'll play because my computer is acting up here. But anyway, make sure to follow us on social media at O&G StrikeZone in all the appropriate places: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can hit the Cash App, my JBM, my BCSN. You can also make a donation to the show, as some of you have done. We appreciate it. You can join the Black College Sports Network JBN channel right here on My JBN Online is the YouTube feed. Hey, go check out the BCSN Pod Zone everywhere that you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, Google, all of those places. BCSN Pod Zone, where all of our Black College Sports Network podcasts are housed. If you're coming to Tallahassee, drive safe, and we look forward to seeing you all in your gray. All right. For Mark, got to give again thanks to Coach Bridgette Gordon. Thanks to Gerald Thomas III. Thank you to Vaughn Wilson. And for Marcus Green and Kelvin Rozier, I'm Brian Fulford. Peace out, Rattlers. We will see you this weekend. Fangs up, strike, and strike again. Might be a little slow getting us out of here, though. My computer don't be moving.
I'm assuming B-Dot still will be back. He was there in the spring.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything to the contrary, so B-Dot should be in the house. All right, folks. God bless. Peace out. We out.